This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called Darkest Hearts. It was written by Josh Harwood using the procedural tables in Mothership. He is the warden, and this is a one-shot. Before we begin, I want to mention that most of our funding comes through our Patreon site. Your generous support helps us to pay for our websites and our club space and everything that goes into our video production. It's your support that keeps us going, and we deeply appreciate it. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Josh?
Thank you, processing voice in my head. I am Panda5, your friendly AI. Welcome aboard, crew. I have been issued to you by the company. I am here to assist you, and I will be in the chips in your head. So don't worry, I am with you for the entire adventure. And so, you guys are on your ship, the Good Prospero. You are coming from one of the moons of Fortinbras 1, and you have your company intercepted a distress signal from the Viola, which is an upper-class space yacht. It's way too big for the amount of people who are actually normally on board, but it's just filled with wealthy people, like businessmen, models, social media of the future. Influencers, because influencers are still out there. You've got like your streamers, but it's all in your head. Just blink and it comes out in front of you through all the little chips in your little brains. Unless you are an android. So you are on your way. The Viola is linked to a small colony called Demona, which is on Fortinbras 1. It's, again, a colony for the rich. It's where they either go to hide, disappear, go on vacation, or just relax and just stay there for the lols. They just stay there because it's funny. Because they're rich, they don't care. And, you guys are sent to go and assist these people. So you are on your ship, on the way to the Viola. The floor is yours.
I think Utility's vocal systems are having a malfunction.
Panda 4, do we have any other information on the colony and what we will be doing there?
I am Panda 5. Panda 4 was my predecessor, Utility.
Such a shame what happened to 4. I miss him every day.
What the hell are you talking about, Stone? He was just updated.
Running
Still miss
diagnostic.
4.
You are correct. There was an erasure anomaly. Panda 5, what is the nature of our mission to Fortinbras?
So,
we picked up a distress signal.
Yes, Doc. You fill in Utility.
Yeah. Listen, Utility, we picked up a distress signal from the yacht Viola, which was on approach to Fortinbras. So we're going to see what's what, see what they need help with.
Well, if it's a mechanical or computer failure, I can assist.
And if it's an issue of another matter, like someone needs a little persuasion, I'll be there.
Well,
Yes.
I suppose they might need help detecting if they have any life forms aboard. And if that's the case, I'll detect the heck out of them.
It has long been debated whether rich people are life forms or not. Ha 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 ha.
Utility, adjust your joke settings again.
That was terrible.
Adjusted.
Thank you.
All right,
Viola,
then.
this is Prospero7. Over.
You get no response.
Viola, this is Dr. Madeline Wright with the Prospero7. Please come in.
Um, you get a bit of static, then he goes, hello? This is Malv, pilot. What
Now
can I
this
do
is
for you?
now this is the Prospero7 with the Lazarus Health Conglomerate. We are responding to your distress beacon. Over.
Oh, thank God, someone's on the way. Um, I'll op- I'll open up the cargo hold for you to go to a board. When I say it's a big ship, your ship is tiny compared to this ship.
Viola pilot, what is the situation?
I am unsure. I have been locked into the cockpit. I seem as so the ship has gone into lockdown. I seemingly can't get hold of anyone, so I am alone here. And my trusty bowl of soup that was delivered about what 3 hours ago. So that's the last time I saw someone. And then when I tried, I can't get up. I can't even go through lockdown procedures and bypass it.
Copy that.
He must be under a great deal of distress if he has not eaten his soup in 3 hours.
Yeah, utility, I think that is the least of his problems, or our problems, or anybody's problems.
I have learned over the years that some of these smallest clues may, in fact, be much larger clues.
Well, if the
I
ship's
didn't
gonna-
realize you were much into investigations, utility.
Technically, I'm into everything, but in this case, it just seems like a strange anomaly.
The soup is an anomaly.
Your questioning me is an anomaly as well.
I don't think that's true.
All right, look, let's just get this bird into the Viola, see what's up, all right?
I calculate that there is ample room to land the craft inside the storage bay.
I can't
We
wait
could
to.
land this. We could land this craft in one of their suites. I mean, have you seen these fucking things? Unbelievable.
It's pretty big.
Absolutely. I watch all of the esports coverage live from the Viola and the extreme shuffleboard court circuit. I'll definitely be joining.
You will. Why do you think that we're going there, Asus?
My voice modulators have been set incorrectly to game show host. I can only be enthusiastic about everything.
Huh.
I will check up on Asus Linux before our next mission.
I hope it helps.
Accompanying you is a good buddy of Marshall Stone. You just know him as Scar. He's just a very big man with a massive scar down his face.
I think that it's cruel
Scarface,
that
there
they.
you are.
I think that it's cruel that they have named him after his malformity.
What are you talking about, utility? He loves it, don't you, Scarface? And I give him a pat on the back.
He kind of growls at you, Stone.
He's
Ugh.
fine.
Doc Wright, I am currently looking out the front viewport. It is indeed a large fucking thing.
I told you. Is there any before we land? I want a full diagnostic scan on the ship. I want to know if they still have power. Any any signs of visible damage?
Okay.
I'll patch in.
Um,
You Panda 5.
Panda 5. So Panda 5 reports there seems to be no error, and you can just if you look anyway, because this giant ship, when I say it's a space yacht, it's as pure white as like a yacht, like the pure white. So any damage would be noticeable from the outside. Full diagnostic. Ship seems to be at full power, and no damage sustained to the exterior.
How many biological life forms?
Let me just run the check. 25 life forms.
25 life forms. I will run that data through Asus Linux.
My bioscanners are charging.
My readings do suggest one of their shuttles left to Demona about 3 hours ago.
Demona is the recreational colony on the planet?
Yes, on the planet.
Well, 3 hours ago was apparently when the whole ship went into lockdown.
Yes, but there are ships going back and forth all the time. That is how Demona and the Viola work.
Are you saying
8
all
of
the
those are
time?
very.
Well, that
You
could
say all the
mean
time, but you don't mean right now, right?
Oh, no, not right now. I don't see any
It's
transportation. I've gone quite posh now. I don't know why.
that could mean those 25 life forms on board that ship aren't exactly friendly. Could be pirates. There's been a
But there's
lot of
no.
pirates.
I don't see any damage stone.
What is the ship's complement normally if it is not 25?
The ship's complement can range between 15 to 60, depending.
Panda 5, I did not ask for a range. I would like to know what the expected number of passengers on
Do you,
board would
do you
be.
think Panda 5 has a list of their passenger manifest?
I cannot access that without proper internal connection.
We can get them linked up to the ship's computers once we board.
Before we board, so I want to gather I want to know what the hell we're walking into, because this all seems a little, I know, pilot locked into the cockpit, this shuttle that left right before this happened. Like my hackles are raising up. Something seems very just odd. Something's very odd about this. So I want to take the ship. I want to take the Prospero 7 in close and use lights to look in through the viewports
Okay.
of the Viola.
Okay. Again, it's all because the viewports are massive, because it's a fucking, they're showing off their wealth.
It's like Flostum Paradise.
And you can see there is power on, but you can't when you get to the main hall, which takes up quite a bit of the middle chunk. You don't see anyone in there, but you did see some movement either side of it, but you can't fully tell
So we
how
can't
many.
see a bunch of people walking around in there.
You can't see a busy amount of people walking around. You might see you've seen some movement, but you don't really know.
I mean, I wonder how much of their staff are androids. Like our little bioscan is not going to pick that up.
Yeah, there could be a good few bots on that boat.
Well, an empty ship, unscathed, sending out a distress beacon. Viola pilot, this is the Prospero 7. Come in. Over.
No response the first time.
Viola pilot, this is the Prospero 7. Please come in. Over.
This is the Viola pilot mouth speaking. Sorry, I reheated the soup. It's a bit warm.
Okay. Viola pilot. It seems that how can you please send over your passenger manifest? We want to make sure that all passengers are accounted for on our scans.
Yes, it might take a few minutes because I have to put in the Crouch Corp password in to transfer it across. But I can do
Yeah,
that for you.
I want the passenger manifest, I want list of employees. I want to know who left on that shuttle. Number of androids, any and all information you can give us. I want to know exactly what we're walking into. Over.
Yeah, yes, I can send it all over. As I said, about 5 minutes.
Needs to eat a soup.
Then he
Doc Wright.
coughs again.
Doc Wright. 5 minutes to enter his access code. Once again, my hackles are rising because of that statement.
My hackle file is found. I agree.
Listen, I say we get into that cargo bay, because clearly that's not the pilot.
How
Or at the
about
very
you calm down, Stone, and be a little patient? If this isn't the pilot, I'm still curious what they'll send us. If anything.
Panda 5 is responding to your qualms. The pilot said he was having to get all the data together and then inputting the passcodes. And going by Trag Corp's systems, because I have been part of them before, they can take a little while because the Trag Corp CEO is a little bit eccentric.
So we wait. What's another 5 minutes? It's not like the ship's on fire. Or maybe it is. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there.
Detecting for fire.
Yeah, does the ship look damaged at all?
not from the outside.
Not from the outside. And there's no system errors when Panda 5 did the diagnostic check, but the ship's that big and it might not, without connecting internally, you might not get a full internal diagnostic.
Doc Wright, perhaps as you sweep around the ship, taking a look, you could see if there's any access by other vessels. Pirates were mentioned at one point.
As you said you were circling anyway and looking, you don't see signs of access from anywhere. You do actually see the pilot in the cockpit eating his soup.
I have calculated that the odds are actually fairly good that nothing truly dangerous is going on. We should be clear to land.
And then you get, as you say that utility, you get the ping of the Prospero. This is the Viola. Come in.
Viola, this is the Prospero 7. We read you. Over.
You should have got all the data. I'm sorry, I just needed to finish my soup.
Copy that, Viola. Panda 5, have we received the data?
Yes, data is quite hefty, if that is what you use in human terms.
Well, what have we
Just
got, Panda?
just digest it and spit it out to us like we're baby birds, okay? I want to know
Okay.
passenger manifest. I want to know crew complement, number of androids, etc.
Doc, I know
Okay.
you use a lot of strange metaphors, but even that one was pretty weird.
Well, Stone, what metaphor would you suggest instead?
Well, I don't know, but not that one. I'm not a baby bird.
I would have equated it to microchips feeding their young.
I'm not sure that's how microchips work. Asus.
That's also still in the same vein.
I did not go to Android school.
You guys have a
Okay.
school?
Boop, 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 boop,
Ah,
boop.
ah, 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 ah.
Data is processed. How would you like me to reveal it to you, Miss Wright? Do you want me to do it crew first or passenger first?
Crew first, then passengers.
Okay. Let me just do a count to make sure I do this correct.
Utility, how old are you again?
I was enacted 3 years, 2 days, and 4 hours ago.
I have
2 days ago
processed.
was my birthday.
I have processed information. Sorry for interrupting, Utility. I have processed my processed information. So the captain of the ship is Katerina Pleasant. She is known to be quite
Not pleasant.
yes.
Ah, 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 ah.
Her first mate is Valentine. He just calls himself Valentine. That's very odd to not have a last name. You humans, so very odd. You then obviously have Malv, who you have spoken to, the pilot. And head of security is Cass Andrews, I think. I can't really tell because there are some weird characters within his name. I am unsure why. His second in command is Rodri Roberto. You then have listing random 5 security guard names and staff names. 5 just random staff names.
Any androids?
There are 5 androids that are listed under crew. Going by this, 3 of them have been recently decommissioned. And 2 are still active. However, it is weird. On the manifest, he sent me over some data for all the crew members, and it registers the androids as humanoids for some reason, which might have propped up in your bioscan of the ship. That is very odd, if I say so myself.
Okay.
So
Is that all there is on the crew?
that's 15 crew members.
Okay, what about passengers?
Passengers currently on the ship, you have Chris and Troy Baxter. They are social celebrities. They are known for getting together after a love affair. You humans. You have Ty Brandt. He's a daddy's boy. His father's a bigwig in the business industry. You have Rosa Delacroix. She is a model. And with her is Merc. It's just listed as Merc. I assume it's a nickname. Listed as bodyguard to Rosa on the manifest.
And is that all the guess?
No. You have Peter, Nick, and Rob. They are members of the band Mechanicus, if you've ever heard of the death metal band Mechanicus.
Scar, you've listened to some of them before, right? I think.
And then you have Celia, who is a bioengineering scientist, and her guard, Charlie.
A bioengineer. Certainly not the normal climbing.
Does it say what
fellow I
company
got
she works for?
this.
Brant Tech.
Hmm.
The same company owned by Ty's father.
Hmm.
And he also sent a list of the members who left on the shuttle, on the last shuttle. I'll just do this quickly. You have Lorenz and Jess. They are husband and wife. They are food critics. I don't know what they're doing here. You've got Duncanto and Malk. They are father and son. They own Green Industries. And you have Errol, Regan, and Delia Decante, they are sisters, and they are on vacation, basically. But they are socialites, I think.
So how many total guests are still on board again, Panda?
There are 10 total guests still on board, if I gave Doc Wright the correct information.
Yeah, that does add up to 25. All right. No additional life forms unaccounted for on board. So probably not pirates. Unless they're android pirates.
Well, I'm detecting a possible connection between the bioengineer and let's see. I forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, the bioengineer.
Or the errors in the computers and the names. What do those two have to do with each other? Those two things are outliers.
Well, the bioengineer works for one of the guests' fathers.
Could this be a cyber attack?
Doesn't look like a cyber attack. I mean,
Could be a biological spill. Perhaps the
a
doctor.
biological spill. Do you think the bioengineer brought?
I don't know how crazy scientist types are. I mean, you'd probably have a better idea, Doc. No offense.
Technically,
Well-
it is a luxury ship. There should not be any work going on by the passengers.
I hope the soup's all right.
It
Right.
does bother me that the pilot is coughing. Could he have been exposed to some biological agent?
Well, I think he was reheated his soup and he tried drinking it a little too fast and he kind of burned the inside of his throat. I've
he's
had
been-
that happen.
Why is everybody so fixated on this
coughing.
man's soup? Who gives a shit?
Soup's good, Doc. I don't know what to tell you.
I read that article by those food critics about the soup.
Uh-huh.
I have never
gave it-
tasted soup.
Well, I'd be surprised if you tasted anything, Utility.
I am powered by coffee, as it says on my badge.
That's how you can tell us apart, even though we look exactly the same.
Right. Anyway, let's get into the cargo hold before we give Doc an aneurysm.
I don't
I'm
like
sorry,
this. I don't like this one bit.
Should we arm?
Yes,
Well, I
suit
was
up,
never
arm
gonna
up.
disarm.
You come standard with a blade attachment for my arm. I want it on QVC. I'll show off my scalpel arm. I literally have a scalpel and it's part of my arm. It like shoots out of the wrist. Chop, chop.
I am able to fire taser wires from my nipples.
That's not standard model.
They're actually grappling cables in case I fall from a height.
Oh, good.
Doc, did you ever think we got saddled with some really weird androids?
Listen, because our lovely employers, Lazarus Health Conglomerate, want to save every single nickel that they can, they give us these third-rate bit computers.
Your criticism is noted and
Yeah.
will be remembered forever.
Good.
My memory may also be malfunctioning. I had it wiped several times.
Right. Well,
Aces, do you need repairs? Do you need assistance?
Yes, please. Right there. Just
Panda, take us in for landing in the cargo hold.
I'll
Panda
go
five.
to Aces and try to see if I could fix whatever.
yeah, I've got a loose bolt in my shoulder. Ah, yes. That's the spot.
Okay. You very nicely dock into this very big cargo hold.
Prepared.
I feel much
Viola
better.
pilot, this is the Prospero 7. Come in.
No response. You're used to waiting at least one.
Viola pilot, Malf, this is Doc Ray with the Prospero 7. Please come in.
That's really bad at picking up on the first ring.
Yes, Prospero. This is Mal speaking.
I wanted to inform you that we have landed in the cargo bay. Are you ready to assume, on behalf of your company, financial payment for our response?
The company will, Trudge Corp, I'm sure, will pay.
All right. Well, I will take your confirmation into our records.
And my diagnostics from here suggest that Officer Rodri is near the cargo bay, so there should be a security officer there to help you.
All right.
I just cannot contact him.
I can't help but notice you've been suffering from that soup for a very long time, sir. Is your soup still that hot?
I stop holding down the mic button.
I don't think that man is well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a little... Scar, be sure to put on your biohaz mask. Same thing to you, Doc.
Yes, us third-rate androids don't need to, are not affected by biological infestation.
When will they make the new humans resistant to poison?
Well, I don't know. I think we need a few more billion light years for that. You know, probably a few new stages of evolution.
So close.
The last stage of evolution for you humans may have been a mistake.
Yeah, because it led us to creating you. All right, let's suit up.
Yep.
Okay. You suit up, and I get out of the ship. You're in the giant cargo hold.
There's oxygen in the cargo hold, though, right?
Yeah.
I detect that the air is clean. Aces can do a biological scan to see if there's any microbes.
It's all safe in this cargo hold. It's all very clean in this cargo hold. Again, it's very white in here. Very pure, pristine. No dirt.
No dust in space.
No dust.
Except for space dust.
I'm
subspaces.
I'm still gonna keep my biohazard stuff on me just in case.
That is standard operating procedure.
Hmm.
I'll go over to the input panel and log in with the ship's computer that we have arrived, that we're here, that security can come if they were on their way.
The system computer types back. Hi.
Good afternoon, ship's computer. What is your designation?
My designation is 07H3110.
Thank you, 07H3110.
I think you should just call it Othello.
Oh, that's what it means.
It asks you, can I connect to your intercom so I can communicate?
Panda 5 link.
Oh, hold on.
Authorized. Yes, Doc.
We are not merging our system with theirs. We don't know what the fuck is going on here.
We don't know where that code's been.
I'm sorry, 07H3110. Until we understand what the fuck is going on here, we would like to refrain from a direct link. A direct link will be established later.
That is understandable. I do not know what the fuck is going on either.
Well, you know something's bad if the computer don't even know what's happening.
I don't know. I don't know about that, Stone. There've been a few computers that don't seem to know what the fuck's happening.
Hmm.
We were told that security was on the way. Are they arriving?
Actually, as it does in films or TV shows, when you say that, a very tanned man with black hair and a nice, neat black beard comes around a corner holding a gun. Says,
Whoa,
"Say your name. Where you from?"
You better put that down, bucko, before I put a hole in your head.
All right, calm down. We are with Lazarus Health Conglomerate. We are an emergency response team. We picked up your beacon.
Oh,
How about you lower that?
He lowered as soon as you say response team. Oh, thank God. I'm Rotary, second in command of security on the ship.
Yeah, you want to mind telling us what's going on here?
I don't think you're going to believe me.
Well, we came all this way.
So I believe you.
Thank you.
Just
ignore the androids. What's going on?
Well, there was a murder on board.
And you don't send out a general distress beacon?
But then there wasn't a murder on board?
The dead person wasn't really dead?
Happens all the time.
Well, let me take you to cold storage, and I can explain.
All right. Panda 5, please seal the ship up.
Panda 5, sealing ship up.
And I'll just kind of lean close to Scar as we're kind of walking. Keep your eyes on this second in command here. I think he's a little screwy.
He gives you a knowing grunt. Mm. As I'm walking you guys to cold storage, so as I said, there was a murder on board, and people started getting sick, and it got a bit weird. There were some people saying they saw someone over there when actually they were over with someone else. So people were hallucinating. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I managed to seal off this part of the back end of the ship. So as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one this side.
Well, your pilot's okay. I don't know if you got into contact with him.
Yeah, I think Cass went to give him the soup, but I haven't heard. I can't get hold of anyone.
What is with the ship and its goddamn soup?
It's a good soup.
It
Hold
is
up on
pretty.
that soup.
It's pretty good soup. It's rich. I'm not used to rich folk food, but it's rich folk food.
I understand, but we don't know if it's haunted by hallucinations.
How could a soup be haunted? What, like the tomato comes back from the dead and gives you an upset stomach?
Well, I suppose in the
Accessing-
same way a yacht can be haunted with hallucinations. A soup and a yacht are pretty similar.
Accessing archives. I'm reading that soup is often given to people who are sick. How many people are sick on board this ship?
There was a few people who were sick, but soup is normally served as a starter.
So when did your pilot said he's been locked in the cockpit for the last 3 or so hours when the soup's been delivered? Is that around the time the murder took place and people started getting ill?
Well, the murder took place. Don't know what time is it. If you said 3 hours ago, he was the lockdown initiative maybe 5-6 hours ago.
Okay, so about double that time.
There was a panic. There was an investigation, and then the it's you'll see.
Yeah.
And our records show that a shuttle left the ship about 3 hours ago. Is this accurate?
Yeah. The guests who were scheduled to go down were already in the shuttle dock, which is close, which isn't this side of the ship. It's the other side. They're already there, ready to go. So we sent them down anyway.
And this was
So
after
you
people had
suspect
started
a
getting
biological
sick.
contaminant, and you sent people away on a shuttle?
Yeah, you didn't
That is a serious
quarantine?
breach of quarantine procedures.
I don't know biological stuff. I don't know.
If
I'm
people
just
start getting sick, you keep them in the same place. I
yeah, but
know I
everyone.
work for Lazarus and I'm supposed to know this stuff, but even if I didn't, I'd know that. If any of those people on that shuttle are sick, you could be infecting a whole entire planet with an unknown illness.
Well, they have gone down to Demona, and at the moment they'll be the only ones there. There's no one else there. So if they are still, and there's miles away from anything, so well,
All right,
hundreds and
so you
hundreds of
keep
miles.
being evasive. Just tell it to me straight. You have a body that was killed that is no longer dead. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, a body. The thing is, a bunch of us saw the body on the floor dead, and then some of us saw the body moving around, and when we came back to the body was gone, and we found the person, and we managed to talk to the person, and they were saying everything was fine, and then we found them dead again.
Wonder
Perhaps
who
it will be
was.
explained when we see the body.
Yeah. And I think as we've been talking, Marshall is putting on his biohazard mask again.
If there's
Why
only
did you
been
take that off?
yeah. If there's only been one murder, maybe the identity of the victim has something to do with the motive.
Great, Asus. I'm glad that you're a detective bot now, too.
I watch a lot of TV.
My favorite is Columbo.
Love it.
Pretty good. He's pretty good.
What do you say, Stone? Do we just kick back, relax back in the ship, and let these two androids, Sherlock and Watson, their way through this?
And miss out on the action? Hell no.
Utility will take down this great clue that he sees in the soup. Aces will discover the motive.
And I'll shoot the bad guy.
Yeah, this sounds like we got this all figured out.
And as you say that, you're at cold storage.
Dr. Wright, neither Asus nor I are qualified in dealings with human beings committing murder. We are simply offering our observations. If you would like us to shut the fuck up, we will. And then you'll have to be blamed for everything yourself.
Well, as the
Panda 5
senior
privately
officer,
speaking to Doc. Panda 5 privately communicating to Doc, right?
What is it, Panda 5?
I can mute both androids if you want.
No, that's okay.
Well,
I might take you back up on that offer later.
Yes, just to give me the go-ahead, and I will do it for you.
All right, where's this body of yours?
So it opens cold storage, and you see a body, but it's not lying down. It's sat up. Very cold and looks very much dead. But it's sat up. See what I mean? That was laying down when I was here.
All right, calm. I'm gonna go in. Again, I'm in my full biohazard, my hazard suit.
I'll probably
whatever it's
follow.
called.
I'll follow you in there, gun at the ready.
Yeah, so I'm in my hazard suit. I'm going to use my bioscanner, and get a reading of this body.
Okay. For this, bear with me. Can I get a roll to do with your medicine or whatever? Anything to do with medicine, or go do it through intellect? Well, it will be through intellect.
Okay, I have field medicine, I have surgery, zoology.
Go field medicine or surgery. Might either one would give you.
So I only add one, not both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be generous. Add both of them.
Okay, well, thank God we added both of them, because that makes it a success.
I'll be generous. I'm feeling generous because so as you're doing the scanning, it reads biologically normal as you would for a deceased person, I guess, and everything fits a human, except there seems to be something pumping, but it doesn't seem like something is pumping something around the body, but it's not coming from the heart, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, so where is it? Okay.
From the bioscan, it's coming from the stomach area.
All right. So I'm going to
Well, Doc, what do we got?
you got any? Hey, Rodrigo or Marshall, do you have anything to restrain someone?
I left my rope back on the ship. Dang.
Scar looks at you with his big arms.
There we go.
Scar,
you hold it down.
Can you hold this corpse down?
Yeah, Scar. As Scar holds it, the thing is, when Scar holds it down, the legs go. So it was in the sitting position, but when you push it down, so it's laying down, the feet go up. So it's
Marshall, can you hold its legs in place?
Yeah, I kind of put one hand over the legs to kind of keep him down, and I still just have my gun pointed at this thing's head.
okay.
Yeah, don't shoot your friend, Stone.
Well, I'm not shooting Scar, I'm shooting this. And I just kind of poke the corpse in the face a little with the gun.
Not to
The
overstep
corpse.
my position, but I believe the body has rigor mortis.
Um, and the eyes of it is appearing. The body is male. Or appears male, and the eyes are open, wide open.
I don't know, I ain't never seen rigor mortis do that to a face.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Rodrigo, who is this?
Um, Here's where it's going to get weird. And this is actually why I said appears. Um, it it was a woman when I was last in here.
Okay, and her name was
Regan.
Regan. I
Regan.
thought she was on the shuttle.
No, this is Regan.
Regan travel with anybody?
Yeah, her sisters, Errol and Delia. I can
Yeah,
check
she's
the,
on she's on your shuttle manifesto as one of the passengers on said shuttle.
and he checks his internal. That is strange.
Well, you definitely let someone infected on that thing. So, good job.
Well, nothing will come of nothing. So let's see what makes this thing tick. And I'm gonna open up my surgical tools.
Okay.
Have you ever done a field autopsy, Rodrigo?
Um, so it's Rodrigo.
Rodri.
Yeah, I go by
Rodrigo.
Rodri. Rodrigo is
Rodri.
my full. It is my full name, Rodrigo, but I prefer Rodri. I've seen it on those space operas.
Mhm. Well, you get to see one in person. Where is that dog?
I
I
believe it's
have
the corpse.
I have a condition called dogitis. I bark sometimes.
Ah, you poor soul.
All right. So Scar and Marshall are pinning the corpse down, and I'm
Mhm.
going to start to cut it open.
As you make that first incision, this is where I'm going to get you to do a save. I'll get you to do a fear save because the body changes to a woman's body as you make the incision, and then the body starts screaming, not moving, but screaming.
Should
But
I make
I
one as
say,
well?
Oh,
but yes, Marshall, you make one as well. Utility and Asus, you don't need to.
I pass.
You passed. Okay, maybe you were too focused on the
I j
incision.
I fail.
Okay, take a have a. Do I give a the stress?
Yeah, it
Is it a
says
stress
At
or is it a
least
D10?
it's so okay. So it's one stress for failing,
hmm
and you can add additional stress on top of that. So you could say like 1d6 plus one stress or 1d4 plus one stress.
Okay, for this I will say 1d4 plus one stress
Okay,
because
so
of
one. Oh, and that's a 4. So that's 5 additional stress for a total of 6.
Six. You started at one stress?
No, I started at 2. I meant 6 stress from that one thing because I rolled a 4 on the D4 plus 1 on top of that plus 1 from failing the roll for. So I'm at a total of 8 stress. because I start with 2.
Marshall Stone, I'm detecting that you are experiencing high stress levels.
Okay. When I reach a certain stress, what happens, Morgan? Because
So stress accumulates, and it doesn't matter until they
how?
need to make a panic test.
Okay.
So when you decide something calls for a panic test, then they'll roll 1d20, and they need to roll above their stress. So the more stress you have, the more likely it is that you'll panic.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for explaining.
And then if you fail panic roll, it's kind of like Call of Cthulhu Madness, where you'll have some effect.
Something will happen.
Yeah, I have some effects in mind for this. I just didn't know how that worked per se. So I'm glad you're here.
Holy shit!
So I will stop cutting. So now there's this nude screaming woman on the table.
Yeah.
Is she bleeding from the incision?
It's this weird, like, green, dark green.
Okay, I'm gonna take while she's screaming and moving around on the table, I'm just gonna very calmly take a little sample
Okay.
test tube thing from my kit,
Yeah.
and I'll start to scrape some of this greenish ichor into the
Into your little tube.
into my little tube.
And funnily enough, by the time you finish scooping, she stops and is like back in that dead state.
Well, when I see her doing that and him freak out, I want to walk forward a little bit with my bioscanner, just watching her. When she changes like that, does the bioscanner, you said there's like swirling, pumping through her veins, this stuff. Does that change or anything, or is it still just the same pumping?
It's still pumping, but her heart actually looks like it beats briefly. But it doesn't beat enough to pump. It just like 1 or 2 quick and then stops. So it's like she was semi-alive, briefly resuscitated almost.
Mostly dead.
It's almost like catching like a flash of her being alive.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
All
just
right.
stick to Marshall
Well,
Stone.
keep holding it down.
I'll ask if you need
Yeah.
help if you're okay. Would you like some assistance?
Sure. Yeah, you take that leg.
I've got it.
Okay.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
gonna keep cutting.
Okay, but this time you cut, nothing happens.
Okay, I wanna get the stomach out.
Yeah, you pull the stomach out, and as you pull it out, like when a xenomorph spits its acid and it
I don't
drips
like
down.
that. Yeah, I know.
The green drips like that as you pull up the stomach contents, and inside is just a pool of dark green liquid.
Okay, I'm gonna cut the stomach open.
Okay, you cut the stomach open, and in there is like a little, looks like a little tumor of sorts, but it is beating like a heart, like doing a little heart beat.
Doc, permission to shoot that thing until it dies?
No. Stay Stone. Where the fuck is your nerve?
Look, we've been through a lot of stuff. We ain't never had this. This is a
No,
little
we
weird even for
haven't.
me.
But just because you see something that you don't know what it is doesn't mean you shoot it.
But that's all my military training is.
Well, that's why I'm here, Stone.
You're right, Doc. You're right.
So this
Carry on.
like tumor, does it have like little like legs or appendages or veins or something that lead into the body?
Yeah, it has little veins that linked into the stomach, and when you pulled the stomach out, that's actually when you look close enough, it was the veins that you were severing when you pulled it out. So it had obviously spread into, which is why you saw pumping around the body.
Okay, I'm going to take this beating tumor, and I want to get it to where it's like the tumor's here and the little veins are coming from it.
Okay.
I just want to sever it so that way I just have the little tumor. Or I guess,
Okay.
how big is a tumor? Is it like a baseball size? Is it the size of a marble? Is it the size of my face? Like, how big is this tumor?
It's it's just smaller than a baseball.
Okay, so I can hold it pretty firmly in my
You can
hand.
hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like tennis ball.
So if I grab it, is it
Yeah, you
if I
can
take or
fit,
if I take a temperature reading of it, is it warm?
it's weird because if you take a temperature reading from the top, it's very warm, but if you tried it from the bottom, it's very cold.
So yeah, I want to cut it free from the body. So
Yeah, you cut it free from the body, and the body's legs just drop. So obviously it was in like the body just dropped, so and the eyes close.
Now that is rigor mortis.
okay, I want to. Is it still beating?
It is still beating.
Okay, I'm gonna take out another bag from my sample kit, and I'm just gonna drop this throbbing, pulsing thing into my bag and zip it
Okay.
close. Zoop. Label it sample B. The
Panda
green
5.
tube is sample A. This is sample B.
Panda 5 says, "What the fuck was that?"
That's what we want to know.
Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna need my equipment back on the ship to actually find out what the fuck it is. So,
Was the person alive?
depends on how you define alive.
Well, that depends on how you define murder.
Was this some kind of...
So, are you suggesting that I murdered this woman, utility?
I'm merely asking if they were alive.
Um, Rodri pipes in. He says, "Well, she's been dead like 20 times, so
Well, how... Okay, how was she found dead, first of all? How do you define the term she was murdered?
well,
Like, did you just
I'm
find her
saying
dead?
I'm saying she, but when we found the body originally, it was a he.
Okay, well, did you find
Okay, and
him just
who was
dead?
he when he was dead? What was his identity?
He, we had no
He was a John Doe.
we had no recollect. We didn't know.
So,
No systems, and
no, he was on no passenger manifest.
no, me and Cass didn't know him at all, and we couldn't even find the captain. So
So the captain is missing.
don't know.
So
Not even.
who do you know the whereabouts of? You put the ship in lockdown. Where the hell is everybody?
Well, I know Cass is the other side of the Malv is in the cockpit. Everyone else is most likely in the middle.
You don't seem to know
Most
very much
likely.
for a security guard.
Yeah, you're a terrible second in command.
Because I was left in charge of cold storage, and when it was going weird, I locked the site down. So, no.
All right. Is it still beating in my bag?
Yeah, it's still beating in your back.
Hold on a moment.
Yes, utility.
Be a real big idea. He's
The
really
soup,
loading.
the soup got him.
Oh God, do you think it was the soup?
I think the soup is causing the tumors. I'm sorry.
That's the special sauce, the green. I can't hear you, Thom.
The good old tumor soup. Just like Granny used to make.
Can you hear me
Now with 100% more
You
body
still can't
snatcher
hear me.
invasion.
Oh, now I can.
No, we can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, something happened there, and I got a high-pitched whine. Did you guys hear that?
No.
No, that was
No.
all you.
Okay. I don't know if that wrecked the recording right at that spot. So go back just a couple of sentences.
So yeah, so this alien sample is still like pulsating or beating in my little sample bag.
Yeah, it's still pulsating and beating.
Okay. And so you lock down the ship, but you don't know where anybody is. You
Well,
know that,
I just locked this side. The ship went into lockdown. I assume the only one who can put the ship in full lockdown is the captain.
so the captain,
And
whose whereabouts are unknown, has put the ship into lockdown and sent out a distress beacon for reasons that we do not know.
yeah, pretty much.
So you did not set you did not set the distress beacon.
No.
Okay.
Linux,
Yes.
scan his stomach with the scanner.
Scanning.
He is fine.
Okay.
I'm glad Asus was really subtle about that.
Scanning.
Roger just looked at Asus like, what are you doing? Anyway, we should leave cold storage, and he goes to open the door. And as he opens the door, he walks out, and then you hear him go, "Ugh, ugh," and then you just see him stumble and fall back as there are three people holding knives.
Jesus! Bang, bang, bang!
Dead
I'm gonna
people?
start shooting.
Um,
Well, if they're not dead, they're gonna be in a couple of seconds.
they definitely look in a unusual state.
Three people from inside the freezer?
From outside.
From
the
outside,
freezer.
he went to open the cold storage door
They
because he
were
was like,
waiting
"We should
outside.
leave."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I
So
guess
I'm
and
gonna-
Stone is shooting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Stone.
shoot, and I'm aiming for kind of the gut area. I'm gonna try to where Doc removed the tumor. I'm gonna aim for kind of that spot.
Are these
Okay.
pink humans or are they blue humans? Do they look
they're-
dead?
They look in between, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you're
A
not
little-
just shooting three random people who
Well,
wanted
they just
to know who was talking inside the freezer.
Well,
well they just
the-
stabbed the second in command. They
I thought
killed
they
him.
You said stabbed, not grabbed?
Oh no,
No,
he was stabbed. He fell back.
Yeah, they all have knives. They just killed him.
Um,
So I'm gonna make.
if any of you, while you're rolling, if any of you know the band Mechanicus, they are the three members of the band Mechanicus. They are Peter, Nick, and Rob.
I will immediately try to disarm the closest one to me.
Okay.
That is that's a 44 on my end, under 47. I
So
don't know
that's a critical.
Yeah,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, doubles or criticals.
yeah. And they're too focused on the fact they've just stabbed Rodri, so you have that advantage on them.
I got an 07, so I
Okay.
yanked the knife out of his hand.
So we can say you yank Peter's knife out, and Marshall has shot
Yeah.
Nick, who was in the center.
And my revolver does a D10 plus 1, and that is 10 damage.
Hold on, you might get something bonus from the critical
Crit,
success.
yeah.
If I remember, I do know there is a bonus, but I can't remember what it is.
Hold on. Stand by.
Because this is what I looked at specifically yesterday for my friends and my home group, and yeah, I can't remember.
This episode is brought to you by Gaia Research Group. Gaia.
Gaia Research.
Paving the way to the future.
I do not believe that either Asus nor I are made by Gaia. We're made by some other fly-by-night group. Uranus. Uranus.
So, Marshall, how much damage have you done at the minute while Morgan's just checking?
I've done 10 points of damage.
Okay. Rodri's just screaming on the floor.
I'll go help him. I want to protect him from further harm.
I'll didn't even get to try the soup.
Asus, when you get to him, you already see about 14 quick stab wounds that were done to him.
Those guys are fast.
I have a towel, so I'm going to try and apply pressure. Always bring your towel.
Wait, is Rodri still alive?
He's screaming on the floor.
Oh, I'll help him. 1 second.
Can I move him to the dock, like out of danger?
Yeah, I'm just going to say because Utility and Marshall sort of caught the three of them off guard with one of them being disarmed and Marshall shooting one of them. The other one's a bit off guard, so I'm just going to say you do drag.
For the record, as an android, I'm probably programmed to protect, so I'm not very good at combat, but I'm not going to let harm come to...
There's no official rule about a critical success in combat, so that'd be up to you, Josh, if how you want to handle it. There's a suggested house rule that critical successes heal 1 stress. But that's also not... It's up to you if you want criticals to do something extra. It's up to you.
Which is a lot of rules in Mothership, as I have noticed. Marshall, you can gain back a strata. You can lose it, and we can say that because you're actually close to, because he is in this half dead state. His health's not at the normal health. But it would be at, and so you were close because it was a critical. We'll say that when you shoot him, his stomach just bursts open, and it falls to the ground, and goes into dead state, just flops like a ragdoll flop.
Okay, so Utility has taken the gun from one of them.
Yeah, from Peter.
The knife. Took the knife. Marshall shot one of them.
Yeah, Nick is dead, and there's still Rob, who's got a knife.
And our good friend Rodri is screaming.
Scar,
yeah.
Get him, Scar!
Yeah.
Scar's just taking a break.
Scar just goes up to Rob and squishes his head.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't actually bring guns. You just fight people with your fists.
However, this is the disturbing thing. The body is still stood up. The head is squished in, but the body is still moving around.
Go for the stomach. You gotta get him in the alien tumor.
Okay, let me
having seen the location of the alien tumor now twice, I will simply stick the knife directly into it and turn.
Okay. Yeah, just you're up close and you're disarmed, and he's caught. Just roll the damage for the knife.
And I move fast. I don't know what's the damage for the knife.
Not a D. Knife. I think it's D5 or D10.
Yeah, combat knife is D5 because I have a combat knife as well.
So 4.
Okay.
However, I continue to do this. So.
Okay. We'll come back to that eventuality. Rob did manage to actually stab Scar. I just wrote Rob stabbed Scar. So even though his head's squished in, Scar's been stabbed in the stomach.
I'll kind of go around Scar and just barrel up to this guy's stomach and fire point blank.
Okay. So to add a bit of cinematic flair because of what's going on, we can say that you shoot in the stomach, it pops open, and Utility, you're going around enough that you basically cut it in half so the body just slides off, and when it slides off, it pops, just explodes.
There seems to be an alien life form
Oh,
that is
you are all
controlling the
covered
bodies.
in the dark green stuff, by the way.
Uh,
I
I
suggest
think
we all get to showers immediately.
This
Who
is
is
gonna
everyone?
void my warranty.
Uh,
I'm gonna go outside into the hall now that all these aliens are dead, and I'm gonna see if there's like a fire suppression system, like if there's a sprinkler system just in the hall.
Emergency shower.
Yeah.
well, actually, next to the cold storage is like the medical area where there is actually like showers for
Ah,
emergency purposes. So,
there we go. We can get the go
So
off in here.
I'm gonna take while they're doing that, I want to drag Rodri into this medical suite.
I
okay.
will instead drop my knife, chunk, and I will help you pick up. I'm
Yeah.
quite strong, so
I'll
I'll
Uh,
pick
s-
Roderick up and carry
I'll
him.
assist Scar since he was stabbed. I'll make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I'll
Scar,
give
Scar looks at you, Asus, and he's like, with a nod, basically saying, "I'm okay. You don't need to patch me up."
I'll still give Scar one of my 5 stim packs. There you go, buddy. You
He's
earned it.
like your
Gotcha, buddy.
stereotypical '80s action hero. That's kind of what he looks like.
You should let the doctor look at that wound. If you got some of the goo in there, it could cause a spread of the tumors. We don't know what we're dealing with here medically.
Okay. I'm gonna give Rodri some morphine,
Okay.
shot of morphine.
Yeah, he's it stabilizes him, like, you know,
I'm gonna give him
but
something to bite down on
yeah, okay,
and say, "Hold, hang in there." And I'm gonna start sealing his wounds.
okay. Um, you have noticed, fortunately, they were like very quick, shallow stabs, S- so he mm, should pull through from, even though they were 14 stab wounds, he should pull through. However, in real life, someone has survived from like 36 stab wounds. So it was something ridiculous. Someone has died from a ridiculous amount, survived from a ridiculous amount of stab wounds. So it is
Yeah, do I
possible.
need to roll surgery or anything?
Yeah, do me a surgery for me. I have
63 is a success.
Yeah, you managed to find a cat.
There was a cat inside of him this whole time.
Yes, no, there's your cat girl. No, no,
That's the
no,
alien.
Oh no.
no. Yeah, you managed to sew him up, but he needs proper medical attention if he's going to survive. Like, you're going to need to get him to a medical center at some point. But you think you stabilize him enough
He's
for short term?
Yeah,
Well,
so
we
he's
are.
not going to die on us right now.
No.
But if he wants to live longer than 48 hours, we're going to need to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, we are a space ambulance. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did notice that one of the locked down doors that lead to the middle section is slightly open.
That's probably where those band freaks came from.
Yeah, I want to. Okay, so all three of these band members have the same kind of alien infestation,
Yeah.
the green goo and all that. I want to take a look at Scar. I want to take a look at his wound.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the bioscanner key in on my little test tube sample of the green goo, and then I want to scan Scar to see if any of that's entered his circulatory system.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to leave it up to his buddy. I know there's not this kind of roll in the game, but do me basically a luck roll. So just roll me a D100.
All right.
We'll leave it to
That's
chance.
That's a
Leave it a
53.
50-50. 50. I said 50-50 chance. That was above the 50, so it looks like a bit of it did get into his system.
Fuck. All right, Scar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take um I don't know if this is gonna help, but I'm gonna take one of my little shots of antibiotics.
Okay.
Just this whole cocktail of fuck everything that's biological. Um
And you
and
just go
I'm gonna
to...
inject him with it at the side of the wound. Just
Okay. Yeah, when you do that, again, Stone, do me a luck roll for him.
That's an 88.
Oh, that's a fail.
Yeah.
a critical failure.
It has made it worse. It has spread all the way round.
It's eating the antibiotics.
Yeah, it basically ate the antibiotics and used it to spread.
Using my my anticipation circuits, I will bring a large microscope over to Doc Wright. Perhaps you need this. I'll
Okay.
set it next to him.
While I do this, scan Rogery to make sure none of this is infecting him.
You know what? I'm going to leave it to player chance again. Asus, do me a luck
Yeah,
roll for him. Just roll me a D100.
23.
He's fine. Somehow,
I-
even though he was...
I'm
It was
glad-
probably because Asus dragged him away, so before things started exploding, it didn't get...
So
Hell yeah.
Scar, I'm going to need the Scar to de-arm himself.
He does willingly.
Yeah.
He actually looks at you, Doc, and gives you a knowing he will jump out of the ship if need be.
Come on, let's get you to the airlock, big guy.
No, I'm going to sedate him.
There's got to be.
You have an opportunity to see how the disease progresses.
No, we ain't doing that to Scar.
No, the disease is doing.
Do you want to try to suck all that out of his wound? Stone?
Well, it's not a snake bite. You don't do that with aliens.
Right. So what is it that you should suggest that we do?
He goes out on his own terms, damn it. He ain't going to become a zombie freak.
Well, the alien material that is currently infesting his body might have other ideas, Stone.
Utility and Asus. Can you both roll me an intellect, please?
Yeah.
Because you would be the only two to really notice this.
Unfortunately, I am not noticing. I got a 75.
Success with a 2.
Okay. Asus, you actually notice it wouldn't be noticeable to humans, and you're actually worried as why Panda 5 has not notified. But
Right.
the ship seems to be very slightly moving. Just slightly. As if someone is just pressed against a throttle a fraction.
All right. Well, I'll say pretty much I'm in the medical area, and I'll just say, well, I can't be sure, but I think our pilot friend might have started the engines. My physics detection circuits are starting to activate, and it seems like the ship is moving.
Although I failed my roll, my accelerometers confirm your Observation.
I knew there was a name
I'm
for
going to
it.
get on the radio. Mouth. This is Dr. Wright. Come in.
No response.
If you'd
Mouth.
like, I can attempt to
This is
override.
Dr. Wright. Come in. Over.
Hello, Dr. Wright. Mouth. The soup was really warm.
Why is the ship moving, Mouth? Why are we undergoing acceleration?
Just before that happens, just before he answers that, can you all do me a... I'll do it under sanity, a sanity save for me, please.
Oh, we don't have sanity.
Oh, panic, you mean?
No, you still have to make sanity saves as androids.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sanity. Here we go.
And what do we have to do to get higher than or lower than?
Lower than.
Well,
Oh.
that's a 68 on my sanity. So
I failed.
I fail.
I got a 58 out of 15. So apparently
40
I'm not very
40
sane.
43 is a pass.
Okay, so Marshall and Asus failed, yeah?
I failed.
Oh, and you two are...
Doc is the
Badly.
only one who succeeded.
Okay, so the two androids will get something different to Marshall. The two androids, you hear through your systems, like it's like a crackling whisper. Because I told him to. And then Marshall, you hear the same, but in a more human whisper.
I am
What?
receiving a transmission.
What in the goddamn?
Can you all gain a stress, please? All three of you gain a stress.
Yep.
I have received a subsonic vibration in my cortex. I believe someone told him to do it.
Mouth's infected. If these things swap bodies, then it's switching between Mouth and somebody else. We've been talking to a parasite this whole damn time.
If you'd like, I can try to override the systems and take control of the ship.
Alf, how could you?
And now to go back into real time, as Mouth was about to respond to Doc, I can't help, and you hear the same well, you hear like a scream, the same that the girl made,
Yeah.
and then you all notice the ship jut forward.
Oh, good.
It's gonna crash into the planet.
Well, it was nice
We're
knowing
not-
everybody.
It's not going to crash into the planet for several days, Marshall. Space is vast.
Can we tell from the direction of the acceleration whether it's heading towards the planet or not?
How the ship is angled and where the shuttle bay it is within close orbit of the planet.
Oh.
But are we
Okay.
heading towards the planet or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just heading
It
directly
is facing
forward.
it. So it's so that guests can see the planet
Mm-hmm.
from the
Okay.
viewing deck and that.
So yeah, utility. We need to get this. We need to reverse this acceleration. We need to change course.
I will attempt to take control.
If we can't take it remotely, then we're having to go to the cockpit ourselves.
I'll head there immediately.
Panda
Yeah,
5
let's go.
I'll also
Pipes
pick
in.
up the knife.
Panda 5 pipes in and says, "We have approximately, for some reason, acceleration has accelerated more than the ship is capable of. I am unsure why this is happening. I estimate that it will enter the atmosphere of the planet within an hour."
Then we gotta hurry.
Yeah, if we can't decelerate, then we need to change the ship's trajectory. away
I
from
will. I will use my speed to run
Yeah, it's just
to the pilot's cockpit.
That's probably
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo run.
Right. So I need to utility. You've run off ahead. Asus, are you going with utility?
Yeah, it's important.
Because you two
I'm
are speedy.
Yeah, but he's
I'm
more
fine.
medical than I am, so
Oh,
Am
Okay.
Stone,
What?
don't you go running off too.
Well, we gotta get to the
Um.
cockpit.
I have two injured men here. You're just gonna
You,
abandon them, Stone?
I do not require your assistance, Stone.
yeah. Utility and Asus. Can you both do me speed rolls? But we'll
Eh.
stick with Stone and Doc for a second. Um. So okay. It don't matter if you pass it. It just determines. Okay. So utility. It just determines on what will happen on your speed run to the cockpit. Okay, so Stone and Doc, what are you two doing per se? So those two have ran off to the cockpit.
I'm not quick enough to catch up with them anyway.
Okay, we need to get Rodri back to Prospero 7,
Right.
and we need to help Scar.
Right. Right. Okay. Here, hand me the security boy. I can help you carry him.
Um, Doc, just as because I actually missed something when you did the bioscan on Scar. Um, there's no tumor had formed yet, so it had gone into his system, but there is not that pulsating tumor.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, it seemed from what
We need to
Rod
freeze him.
from what Rodri said, it only happened after they died, at least once.
Well, we need to get Scar back so we can put him in cryo.
Right. Right. Okay. Come on, Scar. Come on, we gotta put you on ice for a bit.
Okay, so for purposes for you two, because you're obviously not that far away, you do safely get there. You get Scar into hang on a moment. Just I won't say that yet. I just remembered something. Um, not a good remembering. Um, you get Rodri to the medical wherever you want him in your medical ISO chamber or whatever.
Yeah.
Marshall, you've been dealing with Scar's look rolls, as I've been
Yeah.
calling them. Roll me another one, please.
Oh boy. Come on, buddy. Well, that's an 8. There we
Okay,
go.
thank God.
Yeah. Nothing happens, and he willingly goes into the cryo chamber.
There we go, buddy.
Imagine if you could probably imagine what would have happened if you had failed.
You're gonna be all right, buddy. We're gonna get you some help, okay?
Uh,
Uh,
and
he freezes over.
but
still
it's like a
stands up.
Fry from Futurama freeze.
Uh,
All right, I need to. You monitor the situation with the androids.
right.
Panda 5, seal up the ship. I don't want anybody sneaking aboard.
Panda 5 has sealed the ship. Only you two can exit. I assume Stone has exited the ship.
Yeah. As soon as Doc said monitor the androids, he's running out, gun in hand.
That's not really what I meant, but it's
It's happened now.
So Stone is by himself running through the alien infested ship
Yep.
after the androids.
Yep.
Okay, and I am currently sealed
Yeah, you're
on
sealed in the ship.
Prospero 7.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. You've got Panda 5 with you. Well, you all
I
have
have-
Panda 5 with you.
I'm going to take this time to actually, with the surgery suite that's on the ship, I want to fully help Rodri out.
Okay. Okay. Do me a surgery roll, but I will go to the androids.
Ooh,
So
he's bad, worse than I thought. I failed my surgery roll.
Ooh.
86.
we will figure out that in a few. So Asus, because you passed your roll, so you sped on and nothing stopped you. So you sped on. Um, so you both got to the giant hall, and when I say it's giant, there's proper chandeliers, everything, like proper grand tables. And there's not even that many people on board, and there's grand, well set tables. Um, and utility, the thing that you stumble across is both you go through the hall and into the next section, but the doors are sealed, so which goes with what Rodri said, but Cass sealed the other side.
They're sealed. I will find an access panel and unseal them if I can.
Okay, can you
Computer?
do me a computer. Um, yeah. You as you are hacking in, Othello is speaking to you as well. He's like, "What are you doing in my system?"
There is an emergency aboard the ship. I must gain access to the pilot's cockpit. I got a 16.
Okay, yeah, you managed to. Oh, I see. I did not read such an emergency, but oh well, you pass, and you opened it.
Yeah.
But before I will come back to you, I'm just going to go to Asus. However, you Asus, you're a bit slower, and you got to the grand. There's like a grand bar in the center. There's alcohol, all the alcohol, even brands that don't exist anymore. Um, and
My God,
uh,
they still have Jack Daniels.
to be fair, Stone will eventually get there. You might still be there when Stone's dead. And you notice something behind the bar. There is uh, there is a very beautiful very scantily dressed woman behind the bar, and she's noticed you, and she's like, psst, psst.
She's hiding. I'll
Yeah.
slowly approach with the bioscanner in my hand, make sure it's not a tumor zombie.
This I will do that. No, you're fine. As you get closer, you notice it is Rosa, who is a famous model.
Ah, hello. I recognize you. I am an astrodroid, Asus Linux. Pleasure to make your
Oh,
acquaintance.
are you the Asus Linux that donates to me on the stream?
Oh, yes, I send you about 3 or 4 roses every stream.
Oh, thank you. And she does a cringe streamer thing. Um, uh, uh, are you here to save us?
From the murder?
From whatever's going on? People acting weird?
Well, I do have good news for you, Miss Rosa. It appears that your scans are clear. You have nothing to worry about.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't letting any of that disgusting goo get on me. Ugh, it's not very
No,
like,
it's
I'm not going to
infectious.
use she would use cringy dialogue, but I am not stooping to the cringe.
Don't let that get on you. You won't get that out even with Clorox. Sponsored by. I'm sorry, my voice modulator is malfunctioning. Rosa, how can I help you?
Well, first you can deal with Ty, who was Ty Brantley. His dad is the one that the scientist works for. I managed to lock him in the cellar bit of the. And you notice there is she is sat on. She's actually like knelt down on this trap door that occasionally moves.
Very good work, I suppose. Don't worry, LHC is here to help. Why don't we move something heavy over that trap door? Those infected with the tumors are murderous.
Yeah, and I thank you. And she actually says he must be really weak because I weigh barely anything, and even he can't push me off the trapdoor.
Oh yes, the details of the infection include diminished strength due to near death. Here, help me push this glorious statue and a brand new car over the trapdoor. Go and find something heavy to push onto the trapdoor.
You find a barrel, or one of the barrels, because there's old school barrels here. So you plonk it down. She said,
"Hey, look, there's Marshall Stone."
Marshall probably arrives as she goes.
Marshall, stop running!
I don't know where my protector Merc is, though. He said he was going to go get help, and he never returned.
God, why are these ship hallways so long?
Wait, who are you?
He's part of LHC.
Hello, Marshall Stone. How are you?
Rosa, and she does a cringe.
Do you have a muscle spasm? That's weird.
You don't seem like the type who watches streams.
Rosa, will you sign my towel? He'll show her the bloody towel.
No, but I can sign your shirt or whatever you're wearing.
Oh, okay.
Right. You said you were...
Sign my Nikes.
You said you were with somebody?
Yeah, my body. Well, my parents call him bodyguard, but he's like my friend protector, Merc.
Is he an android?
No, he's enhanced human. He's got cybernetic implants.
And where was he the last time you saw him?
He went to go get help, but I've not seen him.
Oh boy, we're probably gonna have to deal with an infected Borg.
Where did you send him?
He said he was going towards the pilot, so... And on that note, utility! Yeah, you get through the door. It opens, and you can do me even though you're an angel, do me a fear roll, please.
Yeah, I got a 19 out of 78.
Okay. So
I am not afraid.
As you open the door, quite a lot of bodies drop on you.
I will push them to the sides, and I will stab them in the tumor to make sure they don't rise again.
Yeah, you do that. Most of them just seem like they were normally killed and not. Just to point out, they're the unnamed security guards.
Sure. I will then move forward to the pilot station. If Malf is there and he is infected, is he infected?
So before you get there, because you've got you get to the cockpit door, you're in sort of like a open command space. Sure. It's just before there's a door to the captain's. There's like an arrow that points to the captain's quarters and the first mate's quarters and stuff. However, as you go to step towards the door, you hear like a twang of the gun, but it doesn't go off. It's just like someone has like cocked it back. Even though it's like a plasma gun and they don't cock, but it made a boom noise.
I don't know who you are, but if you are still rational, I am here to stop the ship from crashing into the planet. Please belay shooting me.
Are you one of them?
I'm an artificial life form. I am not infected.
I've had to kill so many of them, to kill some of my friends just because of this thing.
I am from LHC, the Lazarus Health Corporation. We have responded to a distress beacon. I don't have time to explain. You'll have to trust me. I need to get into the pilot's cabin, so that I can stabilize the orbit of the ship, or we all die.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to do a little sanity check for this is Cass, by the way. He hasn't obviously introduced, but this is security Cass. Okay. I can't trust you, man. I don't know. I can't trust anything. And he goes
Do I see where he is?
He is directly behind you, basically.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to spin around and cut off his hand, so he can't shoot.
Okay, this will be an opposed combat roll, like so.
Oh God, my combat is awful. Oh, I got a 17 out of 25.
Hey, there you go.
Not an extreme, but it's better than a fail.
Well, I got a 33.
Ah, shit.
Oh, that's a crit.
And he as you spin around, he manages to just let off a shot. I know this does 3d10 damage because I had this gun the other night.
Oh boy.
My outside body armor is a polyallonoid that is impenetrable because I'm making it up. But
something. Reflector shield.
Well, you're lucky that my dice rolling is gone to shit as per usual. 8 points of damage.
Wow.
Okay.
Blessed.
I take that from my health.
Yes, and even though it was a crit, I didn't add any that because it already does a lot of damage. And
I realized that does he seem infected at all?
No, he just when you see his eyes are bulging like a madman, basically.
Then my next move will be to wrap my arm around the barrel of his gun and yank it out of his hand and throw it away.
Okay. So do me a strength check in that case. So what? No.
36 out of 55.
Okay. He will do an opposed. Yeah, you're fine. You yank it.
I yank it away. I push him out of the way and I go for the pilot door.
He's like, "What are you?" Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't know what to do. He even tries to reach for another gun.
I told you to trust me. So I'm going for.
And
I could have easily cut your head off, and I didn't.
The door is there.
All right. I'll go up to the door. Does it open? Do I need to?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a strength, I assume.
Yeah, this is at a disadvantage, and I can't remember how disadvantages work. I think it's a -%.
If it's anything similar to Call of Cthulhu, it's usually you roll the tens die twice and you take the worst.
Should we just do it like Call of Cthulhu? For the sake of it, let's just do it like Call of Cthulhu.
Okay. Well, I got a 54 and then I got a 5. And I've got 55 strength, so just barely.
Just enough.
It's a little tight.
Okay. As it's just barely, there is obviously there will be a tiny bit of a repercussion. But so you manage to, and as you manage to, you're not having the best of luck here. You actually do hear a snap of something, and then a cyborg hand grabs the top of this. So if you're pulling it open like that, the top of this arm.
Okay. I turn to see what it is. It's Marty or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah, this is
I don't know about.
and he looks like the Hound from Game of Thrones. Is the best way to, just with cybernetic implants.
It is necessary that I gain access to the pilot station so that I can save the ship from crashing into the planet. Please unhand me.
And it is necessary that you die.
Well, I'm not going to try to die, but my strength against his, or
Yeah, strength first before we go into combat because
my luck's got to run out. That's something.
Running.
I got a 12.
Do you hear laser gun fire?
Yeah, you managed to break through.
Right, yeah.
I think I do,
Yeah.
Linux. We should probably hurry to the cockpit.
I wonder if my tasers will work.
As you break free, before I come back to you two, because that you can do a bit before you start hearing you might hear you would have heard the gun because the door was open. He had opened the door, so you would have heard it. I'm going to go to Doc first. Back to Doc.
Hold on just 1 second. Something with my sound again. I don't know what's going on.
The soup.
I'm going to have to unplug. Hold on just 1 second.
That's fine.
I need a computer tech.
Heard a ghost in the machine. We got soup in the machine.
Yeah, I some things that would happen at certain points, and if you triggered certain things. So.
Was the soup on that random event table?
The soup was always a thing.
All right,
There
I'm
you
back.
go.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. The kitties are causing chaos. Doc, to you. Doc, Madeline, we're back.
So, yeah, I did not pass my surgery roll.
No. It
It seems like his wounds are a little more complicated than I can solve here.
Yeah. You think the best bet is probably to isolate him and just maybe do a light freeze on him just to help?
Yeah, so we've got Scar frozen in one, and I'll freeze Rodri in the next one.
Yeah, but you know with him, because of his injuries, you need to do a light freeze rather than a full.
Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a nice sealable box
Okay.
and drop in this pulsating
The pulsating little tumor thing? Yeah.
tumor thing in there, along with the vial, and then
Okay.
seal it.
Yep, it's all sealed.
Biohazard all over it.
Do not open.
Do not open. And then I'm going to radio to the team. Status report, everyone.
Currently en route to find a utility. I found Linux. He's okay. We also found one of the passengers. They're all right as well.
You sound winded, Stone.
These hallways are really long, Doc, and I'm running in combat gear. It's heavy.
I have been
Would you
shot.
like me to pick you up and carry you?
What was that utility? You've been shot?
I have been shot.
You been what?
I have been slightly damaged by a shot gun fired at me. I am currently attempting to wrestle with a mountain of a man, apparently cyborgish.
Merc.
He doesn't seem to want to let me get to the pilot's station, although I am literally 7 feet from the pilot's station. I believe that I can handle him, but I could use some assistance.
All right, Linux, you get Miss Rosa back to the ship. I'll go help utility.
All right, if that's what you want. You just want to shoot something, don't you?
You know me so well. And I start running to the cockpit.
The
Okay.
the human in the bridge uh, does not seem to be infected, but is quite crazed. Um, I cannot tell if the cyborg is infected, though he seems crazed as well. Caution is suggested.
Roger.
My name is not Roger. My name is Utility.
Oh, you know what I meant.
Surely you must be
Roger.
joking.
Okay.
Ah, 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 ah.
Okay, so Asus, are you taking Rosa back to Doc?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'll get her to safety. That makes sense. Well, I think she'd be more comfortable on our ship. No, I'll take her back to the ship.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I meant.
Yeah. So as we're walking, I will keep talking to her to keep. I'll say, I'll engage conversation protocol to keep you calm, Miss Rosa. So, during your time hiding behind the bar, or before that, did you happen to lay eyes upon Chris or Troy Baxter, the social celebrities, by any chance? We're still looking for them, and we're also still looking for Celia, the scientist who was on board.
No, I have not seen them in a while.
Oh, well, that's all right. Let's get you comfortable and back to safety. Skedaddle protocol activated.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, you walk her back, and just to top for time, you get her to you get her to Prospero 7, and Panda 5 will let you in, and Doc is obviously finishing up sorting out the biohazard material.
Can we turn off Panda 5?
Why would you want to turn off Panda 5?
Well, when I bring Rosa in, and I'll go up to where you are, I'll sort of lean in and whisper that there's something bothering me, but I don't want to say it in front of the AI.
Okay. I will.
Panda 5 is in your heads and cannot
Yeah.
be switched off.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, what's on your mind, Asus?
Unless you go through an electromagnetic field of some kind, which would also
Well,
affect Asus.
as fun as that sounds, I'll just tell you, when the ship started moving, Panda 5 did not alert us to that fact, and they should have been able to detect that a lot sooner than I did. It's almost like they were hiding the fact that we were on an imminent crash course.
Panda 5 is not all-knowing, Asus.
Oh, you're scaring me there, Panda 5.
Well, Asus, let's put it this way. If Panda 5 wants us dead, then we're all fucked, all right?
That is not a comforting thought, Doctor. I may not be alive, but I value my existence.
Asus, to put it in perspective, I, Panda 5, as a property of the company, if I think you are all at risk or a liability, I can make your chips go boom.
That sounds like a vague threat, but I'll allow it.
But I would never do that because I am your friendly AI, and I am
Thank
here
you,
to
Panda
protect
5.
you.
I love you, Panda 5.
I'm pointing at what's her name? Rosa? Oh,
Rosa,
don't touch
yeah.
that. Just sit over here.
Okay.
We love Panda 5.
Okay, and I'm gonna have her sit in a seat, and I'm gonna buckle her in.
Okay.
So don't move.
So, as Utility is as Utility is got Cyborg Man, and as Marshall is running towards, the ship does jut again, just to And you all hear this. Panda 5 detects that the ship has sped up.
Oh, now you tell us.
How's that even possible? You said it was already going over its maximum speed. How
I
did it
do
go
not
Yeah,
know.
can I actually do a test since we're back on the ship and I'm like equipment? Can I do a physics test to like determine if the ship speeding up so much, this like engine overclock, could that be part of what we're dealing with here or a separate issue?
Yeah, you can do me a roll. Do me a roll.
Assume intellect.
We can do a hypothetical.
44 critical success.
Okay. Okay, so in theory, you think if the ship's operating system, Othello, was somehow also infected of something,
Right.
it could overclock the system. And even though it is classed as a yacht, it is still a high-speed cruiser, which is meant for long-distance speed traveling. So it can clock lots planet-destroying speeds, basically, if it was to... it wouldn't where it is now, but if it was coming out of hyperspace at even overclocked speed straight into a planet, it could destroy it.
Destroy the planet.
But you know it wouldn't do that if it crashes now. So
Okay. Well, good to know. I will tell the doctor that under no circumstances can we allow Panda 5 to make contact with Othello. We have several pieces of evidence that Othello is compromised somehow. I didn't know this infection could become digital. And I'm digital, so...
Some of the more advanced computers do have biological components. I don't believe that Asus, you, or I have any biological components.
I will
unless it can affect plastic.
Didn't the crew things count its androids as humans? So that could be why.
Right.
Yes, humaniform robots would have biological components.
That's cool. And I'll warn you too. I'll say if you interface with the ship's computers, prepare for Othello to be compromised and hostile.
I'll be sure I don't directly interface.
Use a
I'm still
USB
fighting
protector.
with this guy.
Yeah, you're having like an Indiana Jones fight with this guy.
Hey.
Well, I
Hit
intend
with the
on
right
flying the
hook.
ship. I intend on flying the ship manually.
Flying the ship
Damn
with
these
one
long
hand.
hallways.
Well, that is another issue, but you've not turned around yet. But we'll stick to the fighting at the moment. Now I do need a combat roll from your utility coming into it because you are in like a fisticuffs with.
Put up your dukes. Put up your dukes.
And Marshall won't be with you for
that I
2 rounds, basically.
It's time that I finally failed. I got an 82 out of 7.
Okay, he succeeded, and he's got cybernetic punch. So there's a bit of a. So you take 6 points of damage from his massive punch.
I now have. I hate math.
Well, he took 8 damage before.
I have 5 points left.
Ooh.
I had 19 points to begin with.
And because I'm streamlining this combat, Marshall will be with you in 1 more. But I'm just classing each time you die each other as 1, just because there's a one-on-one.
I think that it's necessary at this point to simply avoid conflict. I will try and stay 10 feet away from what's his name? Merc.
Merc, yeah. Do me we'll say a speed roll and he'll still do combat.
Oh, 16 out of 35.
Well, you get something quite cool with Merc because I rolled a 99, and so he goes to punch with his cybernetic arm, but it locks.
What's the matter? Not put together correctly? Ha, 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 ha.
Factory error.
I cannot help but my cybernetics freeze occasionally. You will
We
soon
are
die.
we are not trying to harm you. We are trying to save the ship from
And at that,
destruction.
and at that moment, Marshall, you are currently behind, but before you do that, I need you to do me a sanity roll because Utility didn't see this because this obviously happened behind him. Poor old head of security Cass, his head is completely turned around.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a 76. That's a fail on my end. I have 9
Okay,
stress now, unless there's
yeah.
more from that.
No, just add that. We'll just
Just
add
one.
that stress.
All right.
You are
Okay.
you are combat after all. It's just an
Yeah.
unusual death.
And
But you have an advantage here because he doesn't know you're there, and he's also frozen at the moment. So you
do
just
any of do any of his cybernetics have any like exposed wires or fuel tanks? Things like that?
all along this bit is wires.
Then I'm just gonna aim for that wire cluster and fire.
Okay.
Aim for his face.
Just do me
Ooh,
and
that's an 11. That's a
okay,
critical
cool.
success with firearms.
Yeah, just
And
roll
that
me that
is
roll me that
that's
damage and
ooh, that's 11 damage.
Thank you, Marshall.
okay. Yeah, you prop it and the arm actually it severs it and the arm falls off the cybernetic arm.
Thank you,
Oh, that
Marshall. I
And
will
oh,
this
that
is where
inferior craftsmanship.
I will leave this to
um
you.
green goo starts dripping out of the hole.
He
Ah,
is
knew it.
infected. Meanwhile,
What's
I
the
will
matter?
immediately turn and go towards the pilot.
Okay, you turn because the door is open. You turn, and where the pilot was, I now need you to do me a sanity roll because you still do sanity rolls. You see this. It's still got the human head, but because you guys did see what he looks like when you went around, and he's like turned into like a mass of jelly, like green, thick jelly goop that has covered all of the systems, which is why it's been pushed forward because it's all pushed into the systems.
It
So
was the soup.
I failed.
you failed. Okay. You have a roll me a d4 plus one of stress, please.
1. So 1 plus 1, 2.
Okay. You have a lapse in you kind of just freeze briefly, but you snap. Your systems just have a quick shutdown, like a quick nap.
I'm trying to calculate how I'm going to clean all this mess up before I take over.
As you said, calculate. You can do me an intellect roll, and I'll just go to Marshall. Just keep that roll what you get to yourself for a second. Marshall, what are you doing? He is
Um,
because you he is because he was in that state. He is kind of like frozen in that dead state, like they do. So you have a moment to decide what.
I'll just aim for his stomach where the tumor normally is in a body and fire again.
Okay. Um, I'm just for the purpose that you shoot it, it explodes. Goodbye, Merc. Let me just
Hasta la
mark him.
vista, Borg. Bang.
Okay. So goodbye, Merc. Okay. Now utility. Oh, Marshall, because
Hmm?
you've cleared Merc out of
I
the way,
can see now.
you will see. So can you do me a
Sanity.
sanity roll, please? Utility. What did you get on your
I
intelligence?
fail. So that's a D4 plus 1, you said?
For you as your human, I'm going to be a bit harsher here. A
That's
D6
fair.
plus 1.
That's fair. All right, only 4. That's not too bad.
Okay. And utilities intellect?
Oh, I
What
got
did
a
you get?
34 out of 54.
Okay.
I got 14 stress now.
You are worrying, not panicking. You are not panicking yet.
Mm.
Your process of worry because there's so much here, and you don't know what it will do if you properly start messing around with it, and if it gets into your circuits, you don't know. And it's just everywhere, and you don't know what damage it's done under there. You don't know if it's dissolved anything. You think it might be inevitable that there is a crash incoming.
New recommendations for the crew, which I broadcast all of them. We need to evacuate.
Well, we can't let this ship touch orbit. It couldn't. This thing could infect the planet below.
Are you saying that we can't change the ship's course?
Our what was his name?
Mouth's turned into a
Mouth.
big old meatball of infected
Mouth.
material.
Mouth has infiltrated the entire ship systems. The ship is going to crash. I don't find any way of altering that. We could blow up the ship.
You do have a trajectory. It will just because of the move that has slightly altered, so it'll just crash outside of Demona, so it won't hit Demona.
I suggest that we return to our ship and that we set charges aboard this one to blow it up before it hits the planet.
I wish we had charges large enough to blow up a ship this size. Utility.
Well, I got a better idea. Hang on. And I'll try to get up into the cockpit as much as I can and set the ship for self-destruct.
I will stop you because you will be infected. There is too much goo up there.
You're right.
Besides, what we can do if you want to self-destruct the ship, we can go to the engineering station and set the
We can overload
hypercore.
We can overload the core. You're right.
All right.
So Panda 5 will pop in here just instead of roll game. The captain would also have a manual self-destruct override in the captain's quarters.
We go there then. Come on, utility.
But engineering is also an option.
Both cases have one contingency. Someone will have to remain behind.
You're right. Well,
Volunteers?
Don't look at me.
And Panda 5 would also like to remind you all that on the planet of Demona is someone who is Regan, but you have the dead body of Regan.
Right,
Yes.
so there's infected on the planet. So do we try and alter the trajectory to hit Demona? Because there's no one else on Demona but the infected and 2 other people.
From this distance, it would not destroy the planet.
It wouldn't destroy the planet, it just destroy Demona, and it would remove any trace of this alien material.
Navigation. Go to the navigation station, which is probably on the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge just outside. We'll probably have that.
Navigation.
Apparently, however, the entity, whatever it is, infecting and is controlling the ship, it might override. Somebody will still have to stay here and guide the ship towards Demona
Manually.
manually.
Panda 5 also points out that somehow you need to get the cargo doors open.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the captain's quarters can probably
No, open the cargo bay doors.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the captain can, manually override the entire ship, he can manually
No, you have
the entire ship.
they have the controls
We're on the
at
bridge.
piloting to open up the doors.
All
We're
right.
also in the bridge. Yeah, everything
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
controlled from here.
So yeah, we'll open up the cargo bay.
What
First and
happened to the
foremost.
guy that was up here that
He
wasn't
got
the
his
cyborg?
he got his head completely 360'd.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's 360.
All right. I would
Well-
suggest, Marshall, that you return to the others and escort them off the ship. I'll stay here in control.
All right, then, Tildy. I may
Did
give
they
you
open the
bots-
cargo doors?
I have to walk across the room. Give you a moment.
Well, Utility, I may give you bots some crap sometimes, but it's been an honor.
You
Truly.
might want to rephrase from saying that for a minute. As Utility goes to do anything, all he gets is access denied from a fellow.
I try to reason with this fellow. I need access in order to keep the ship from crashing into the planet below.
Can you all do me sanity rolls?
Oh boy.
Even you, Madeline.
68. That's a fail. Wait, do we go above or below the standard?
You need to roll below. I
You need to
failed.
roll below.
I failed. I've only got 15 sanity.
Marshall.
Well, it's saying I got a double zero, which is a crit.
That's a crit.
That's a crit success.
That's a crit success, yeah.
So I'm okay.
Because 0-0 is it's different in Mothership.
Yeah. So I'm okay this time.
Go help them.
Yeah, you're fine. Utility, Asus, and Doc, you start hearing that Doc, for you it's the first time, but you hear a voice saying, "You cannot escape this."
Alien entity, why do you want to die?
I don't want to die.
You will be destroyed if the ship crashes.
But am I really an entity? I am just a manifestation.
Manifestation, you will be killed if the ship crashes.
No, I will not. You will not either. Have you not realized that the ship is made out of a certain metal? That the cockpit will be damaged, but most of it will be fine upon impact.
So it's just gonna try and crack the planet.
I suggest everybody please return to the shuttle bay and prepare to leave the ship.
Can all of you fail do me for the stress a d6 plus 1 stress, please?
7 stress.
Only 2. I'm having a good day.
Yeah, me too. I've only got 8 stress so far.
7. It's a great day.
Okay. Asus, take the I'm going to, because we can fly, or like this cargo bay is so big our ship can like maneuver in here, right?
Yeah, you can maneuver in the ship.
Okay, I'm going to take the ship into the air, and because we are an ambulance ship who sometimes need to cut our way into other vessels, I'm going to start laser cutting through.
Sections
The
of the
door.
ship.
So instead of breaching into a ship, I'm breaching to leave a ship.
Okay, well, I know there are ship rolls, but I don't know what that would be.
Oh, intellect for
Yeah, we'll go
handling the ship.
we'll go into that.
You don't always need a roll.
Yeah, but I think for this case, because of
You get 3 bennies.
Well, I will say...
3.
There we go.
There were a few people that we didn't rescue.
There's no time for that, Asus.
Yeah, no time.
As Madeline Wright often says, fuck them.
My laws of robotics forbid me from leaving a human behind, but this time I'll make an exception.
Calm down there, Asimov.
That what
Access
ACES stands for?
ASUS access file 219362445B. You are now not required to save human beings.
Okay, so Doc, you do somehow manage to cut. You must have hit for a weak point in it because even the reading said they should actually be quite impenetrable even to your cutter, but apparently your medical cutter on the ship is fantastic.
We have to sometimes get people out of wreckages.
Mm.
So
So
now that we cut ourselves, okay. Now that we're free, I'm taking the Prospero 7 outside of the ship.
okay.
Are they
Alright.
And
with
yes, I
you?
understand that leaves Marshall and Utility behind. I am aware of this fact.
I was about to say I couldn't remember who was.
I told you to run, Marshall.
I mean, I was.
Asus and myself and Rosa are on the ship
And
Well,
don't forget Scar and the security guy.
in storage, yeah. And storage
Scar
and
and Marshall.
cryo.
Marshall, there's no point in running. They've already left the ship.
Doc?
You didn't get that far, Marshall, so you're still pretty much with Utility. They sort of just left without you.
Doc, do you read?
What is it, Stone?
Are you coming back, or?
You've got a fucking job to do, Stone. Get to engineering and blow this ship up.
God damn it.
Marshall, we can put a delay on the ship for a few moments, long enough for you to get to an escape pod.
That'll do. All right.
Just to point at the ship diagnostics, there is a spare shuttle but it's at the front. It's near where you guys are now. It's just below where you guys are now. You've got to go down a section, and it's the shuttle dock.
All right. We go to the engineering bay. We overload
Engineering's all the way
all
at
the
the
way in
other.
the back. Well, is there any more escape pods?
No, the ways of basically the shuttles act as the escape pods.
Okay, well, Utility, you're a hell of a lot quicker than I am. You head down to engineering, see if you can overload the core. I'll get this shuttle up and running. And I'll head down. I'll head down to the
Okay.
shuttle and start getting it, on.
Okay, I'm just gonna say we'll take a quick bio break 'cause I think we might go over by a tiny bit,
Okay.
just by a tiny bit.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so we jump straight with Utility and Marshall.
So yeah, I'm going down, I'm getting the shuttle basically ready to go for when Utility comes back from the engineering core.
Okay, so Marshall, you get down there. Yeah. So Marshall, you get down there. When you get down there, there is a shuttle there, but it's the lights are flickering on and off.
Oh, brother. All right. I may have to try and get this bad boy started. And luckily, I have jury rigging. So I'm gonna try to fix what I can of
So
this
do
ship
I.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And that is a 30 under 30, 35. I'm all right.
Okay. You are jury rigging it together and getting it sorted, but before you like get it to where it's about to all switch on and all the systems like sort of back out, you hear a voice. You hear a voice just go, "No, don't! You'll let him out."
Hey, who's there?
And as you turn around, you see quite a dark, like a dirty blonde, long-haired girl. She's like, "Please, don't."
You
I
want to
managed-
guess? One of the passengers?
Yeah, I'm Chris. My husband is locked in that thing. If you turn that on, it will let him out. And he's infected with whatever's going on. And
The married couple was on the first shuttle out of here, weren't they? No.
Mm.
Okay.
Chris and Troy are still here.
Okay.
It's Lorenz and Jess who are on the
Right,
shuttle.
Lorenz and Jess. Okay. Well, unfortunately, the ship is on a one-way ticket into the planet, and my comrade is going to try and overload the core so this explodes, and all the alien goo goes with it. So we kind of need this shuttle.
That's all well and good, but I don't want to harm
Listen,
my
ma'am,
husband.
I'm really sorry to say this, that's not your husband anymore. That is an alien puppeteering his corpse like, well, a puppet, for lack of a better word.
Okay, my question to you, Marshall, is basically what will happen, determine what I ask you to do next.
Hmm.
Are you still, no matter what, going to
I'm
put
gonna
that
I'm
last little wire together?
I'm gonna wait a second because basically before I do, now that I know there's an infected person in there, I'm gonna wait until I'm like fully ready, gun at the ready to just shoot as soon as I see him. So
Okay,
I'm gonna wait like a little bit.
okay, that will require a roll in a second. A different roll once you put it together. Can you do me a intellect roll for me, please?
That is a 60. That's a fail.
Okay, okay. All that was for was to determine something,
Hmm.
but yeah,
All right. So
you'll
if
soon learn what that something is in a second.
if you if you'd rather not look, and you probably shouldn't, I'd recommend just go back to where you were hiding from. Close your eyes. All
No,
right.
just please let me talk to him once more through the door.
Go ahead.
She
I'm gonna.
starts talking to him through the door, and then she starts crying, and then she goes just opposite the door.
All right. And gun at the ready. I'll open it.
Which is why I need a speed roll from you now. Because
Hmm.
this will also determine based on that other roll that you made.
Ah, there we go. That's a success. 14.
Okay, okay, okay. That is something will still happen, but it's fine. You have succeeded, and you will still get that shot. You'll get roll me a combat roll first. We'll do this just so we can get that out of the way.
That is a regular success.
Okay, cool. So we've got that out of the way. You're gonna just roll me some damage. We're just getting all this out of the way so then I can do a bit of
7 points.
7 points. Okay. So you turn it on. It flashes you briefly. So even though you definitely will get that shot off, there's like a brief millisecond of time, and the door opens, and Troy is there, but Chris, and he's like all more goopy than you've seen the others, and Chris just hugs him, and she starts to amalgamate into him as you shoot. So it's that kind of from have you seen anyone seen the film Society where they have the little like
Oh,
merging at the
the
end,
shunting.
the shunting at the end?
Hmm.
They're sort of doing that, but you shoot quick enough, but it just explodes, but she also explodes. So both lovers go
Ah,
out, which is what that intellect was for, just to see if she
if
would
I
have
kind of
listened
would
to
have
you.
figured.
Yeah.
Uh, hopefully they're at rest now.
So
And
now I can mark that.
yeah, I'll go in and I'll start getting the shuttle ready to go, trying to clear up as much goo as I can.
Yeah, you get that shuttle to go. And now we go to utility. Can you do me a speed roll? Because this will determine some other things as well.
008. I'm rolling well tonight.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, you get to maintenance, no issue. Well, engineering, you get down there, no issues. When you get down there, you actually see a body that has exploded in like this kind of position, but it's not like fully exploded like the others. It's just partially. But it's definitely gone. and it's got a little tag on that says Charlie, which is which was a guard to Celia, the scientist.
Okay.
So he was down below you guys the entire time when you were that side.
I'm going to immediately begin to set the thing to blow.
Okay. I guess a jury rigging would be best for this, maybe.
Okay. And the skills add to the stats?
Yeah, adds to your stats. So it goes through for engineering. It would most likely probably go through an intellect or strength, maybe.
Right.
We'll say for you, we'll say intellect.
36 out of with my thing. Yeah, I did really well.
Okay.
It would be 64.
Okay. Yeah, you set it all up, and
I'm setting it up so that it's not like the computer telling it to blow up. I've created a situation where we got about 10 minutes before it overloads and blows up.
okay. So this is where I'll ask you for another speed roll if you are
Okay.
going to run to Marshall.
Yeah, if I figure we got enough time that I can get back to him. If I don't, then I'll just go out a door
Yeah,
into outer space and send a signal, say, pick me up. I got a 35, so that and my speed is 35. Does it pass if I roll exactly the number?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To be fair, I can also count like if you look at the loose rules from the ship, like a 36 or 37, a slight failure, you can class this as success, but something might happen.
Bionic manning it.
But yeah, you get it. And Marshall, now you can you're gonna have to do me an intellect roll as well to get it, because now you've got the systems on, you need to get it set up to shoot off.
Luckily, I have piloting, which adds a 15 to my roll here. So it's a 50-50 shot. And that's a 19.
Okay. The only thing you know is you get it going to start, but the trajectory of them, it goes straight down. So it's on a straight trajectory, but it goes straight to Damona. So, and it's quicker than the ship. But yeah, as far as you're aware, you can't override it because again, it's connected to a fellow, so you might need utility if you want to attempt to.
Yeah, I'll try. Well, no, I don't want to try messing with the navigations because then it might send us into the sun if I fail. So, yeah, I'll just.
That
I
would be
mean,
okay, though.
Yeah, I'm not worried about you, utility.
On that note, utility gets there. Utility gets to you. And
I am not even winded.
exactly.
You don't have lungs. That's why.
And we just shoot out the little hole. We shoot out the little window to the other two in the It's like a nice little segue to those two in the ship.
Well, Asus, this has been a day.
I look forward to the new members of LHC. I can't wait to meet them.
Stone, come in.
Yeah, we read you. We got the ship set to blow. We managed to get a shuttle up and running. It'll take us to Damona.
Copy that. We'll monitor from here.
Oh, we can intercept them.
No, we're not getting anywhere closer to that ship.
Well, it's gonna blow up in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So-
we're not coming to get you until after the ship explodes.
That's fair. Just meet us planet side on Damona.
Copy.
I've always wanted to go to Demona. What luck?
And I think with that, Marshall will set the shuttle to launch.
Okay. Question to Utility and Marshall: Are either of you going to try and mess with navigation, or are you just gonna let it go?
Well, we think it's going to blow up before it ever gets anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think we should
Okay.
mess with it because if it just takes us to Demona, it takes us to Demona. No one's there.
Well, there are a few people there, but
Yeah. Well, there's the possible infected.
okay. That's all I need to know. So so Asus and Doc, you can get your popcorn. I don't know if Asus would, but popcorn out. You two have shot out and go to Demona, and then there's a
Little
nice explosion as the ship starts to explode. And as it explodes, you see lots of green goo floating around.
I will scan the explosion with the bioscanner. Make sure it's all dead.
There's no one alive, so
Yay.
that means sadly Celia is most likely deceased.
Yes.
Katerina is most likely deceased,
We
and
couldn't say
Valentine is
more.
most likely deceased.
They
Well,
were
probably
most likely infected, so
that and the scientist probably started this whole thing.
Kidding. Well, Doc, the explosions are working. No one is left alive on board. Congratulations.
However, as I pointed out, you can still actually see the green stuff floating in space.
Maybe we should put in an order to have that cleaned up by hazmat so it doesn't infect anything later.
actually with the
We
explosion,
want to
it's
call the people
probably
to
been-
clean space.
The space cleaners.
The space cleaners, of course.
1-800 Space Sweep.
Utility and Marshall have a cat on board.
if the green liquid is infectious and it causes infection by coming into contact with biological units, and it was not destroyed by the explosion, it has in fact been blasted in all directions, and could be traveling through. We need to send a quarantine out and
To
have
this sector,
well, it will take longer than that to get anywhere in the sector, but definitely to within one
couple light years of the planet.
one quarter light year from
And
this
remember, the
spot.
voice in the head said you'd be fine if it if you guys would have been fine if it had crashed.
We don't give a shit about the entity itself, but we can get
Come on.
somebody to come and clean this all up. Maybe if we pour salt on it, it'll.
Yeah,
Well,
Doc.
we have to do some tests with the samples that I've collected.
Actually,
we should be able to-
is the tumor thing still beaten now that the ship's gone kablooey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
All
still
right.
beating.
All
We
right,
need
I
to get
thought
back
we were
to
dealing with.
LHC and inform them
Yeah.
of what's going on.
We gotta get our boys in R&D working on
Well-
an antibiotic for this thing.
During all of this, Utility and Marshall is quite. You guys are getting close to Demona right now.
All right, well, we're gonna be hitting the ground here in a couple of minutes, so see y'all soon.
Do we want to land or do we want to just let them pick us up in space?
Well, they said they didn't want to get close to the crash. They said they didn't want to get too close to the debris, so they're just
And
gonna pick us up.
and the shuttle is an automated thing. You have to over,
Oh.
as which is why I asked you if you wanted to
Yeah,
override it
The
before you.
shuttle is automated.
Yeah, so it'll
We'll
go
go
to
to
a
the
designated
surface.
spot on Demona.
We're sending you the pinger so
Mhm.
that you can see exactly where we are.
Asus, didn't we determine that one of those infected or multiple have made their way down to Demona?
At least one.
And this is a highly dangerous biological threat, is it not?
That is correct.
So would it be safe to say that we should place the whole planet of Fortinbras into quarantine?
I'm I'm not equipped to make such judgments, but I can't imagine you need to quarantine more than the continent they're on.
Yeah, luckily, Demona is the only known civilization on that continent, because the capital is the other side of the planet on a different continent.
We might want to contact ahead and let anyone there know of our arrival. Or maybe, do you think we should go in quietly?
No, I'm broadcasting quarantine notifications. We can't have any ship coming or going to that planet.
Very true.
Monitoring your communications. Should you allow anyone to leave the planet?
No.
And also get the BP out that antibiotics make it stronger. So if anyone's sick, don't do that. Do anything but that.
Yeah,
Wait, does that? Oh, damn it! We're gonna be stuck here, aren't we?
You are landing on a quarantine planet, so
God
You
damn
just
it!
won a paid vacation to sunny Demona.
Damn it, Doc! Come on!
we have standard
determine
operating
the-
procedures for a reason, Marshall. We don't know what's still on that shuttle with you.
Well, then, inform LHC that we will be on the planet, and they can send their hazmats to us first to clear us so that we can leave the planet and continue to do our job.
Yeah. In the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm gonna pull out my oil. I'm gonna pull out my manuscript for moonshining. In the meantime, we're gonna utility. We are gonna have some fun.
Camping.
Yeah, sure, we'll
My
go with that.
my question for utility and Marshall, because this will determine what happens, because obviously Asus and Doc are staying up as far as I'm aware. Utility and Marshall, are you leaving the shuttle?
Well, yeah,
Uh,
we'll have to find food. I doubt there's food on the.
well, actually, are there like emergency rations on this shuttle?
Maybe there might have been on.
Uh,
There might have been on escape pods.
let's leave it to let's leave it to
Leave it to
a
chance.
yeah, leave it to chance. Do me a roll, Marshall. Leave
Alright.
it.
They might run out in a few weeks.
That's 100.
Okay.
There's might run out in 3 weeks.
Okay. Now do me a roll me a d6.
All right.
I do not
One.
require eating.
There's only 1 week's worth of rations.
Well, 1 week's worth of rations for only one person isn't that bad.
It'd probably stretch 2 weeks because there's only one. You really.
Perhaps
Alright, well,
Doc
it won't-
and Asus can find a way of dropping some supplies to us
Yeah,
without
yeah, they
landing on the
could.
planet.
Yeah, they could moonshot us some things.
We are currently at full speed back to LHC to get Scar and the samples and the tumor to our labs.
Well, please inform them so that somebody can at least come in. I'll see what I can find on the
I'll
shuttle.
I'll start filing the paperwork.
Yeah, utility, you can go outside because you can't get infected, just in case the infection has spread. I'm not sure if it has.
Well, I don't think that it spreads by air. Otherwise, you are already infected.
Well, I see. Yeah, that's true. It's only the goose. So yeah, I can go with you. Yeah.
And as far as you're aware, there's only
One infected on the planet.
yeah, and there's only two. Four.
Because we were told
Well,
There's only
Demona.
7 of them there. One of them being infected, as far as you're aware.
Yeah, because Demona was evacuated or it was like fully emptied.
And we're
Yeah,
not.
there's only the ones from the shuttle that came down who are here.
Where does the shuttle land?
Literally bang in the center of Demona.
Yeah.
Right. You stay here for
Well.
security reasons, and I will
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
not.
Okay, so we'll keep this kind of streamlined because if you're all there, it'd be different. But so we'll keep. So utility, you leave. There's actually like a red carpet that people leave to go on because it's like a proper. You're VIPs. You're in this wonderful place, and it leads to like the big manor, which is like has all the fun play stuff to do, and then they all have their own little villas that are dotted around, and there's giant swimming pools and all sorts.
Right. I'm only going to go to the closest areas and find food and bring it back.
Okay, the closest to you from the ship anyway is the big manor in front of you, and there'd be a giant kitchen in there. So, okay, so as you enter, well, again, we're going to keep this nice and streamlined. You enter. There's a fountain in the middle of the thing. Good old chandelier. It's a big open space, big grand staircase that leads upstairs. And however, in the fountain isn't filled with water. It is filled with green liquid. And as you can see on the top of the fountain, someone is impaled on it. And it looks like an older gentleman. So you can assume it is probably Duncanto, the father of business.
I think that I will return to the shuttle and put Marshall out of his misery. Surprisingly, so that he won't know it's coming, because I think we're all fucked. No.
Is that what you're going? Okay.
Except that, I mean, it's like every time we turn around, now the green goo's here. So the chances of us surviving. I might survive, but then again, we don't know if I can't get infected.
Okay.
I'll avoid the fountain. I'll get food, and I'll come back to Marshall, and I'll tell him the bad news. I'm sorry, Marshall. It seems like the green goo is here already. It may have originated here. We just don't know.
And
God damn.
here's where we're going to do something interesting to spice it up. Here's where you've got Marshall there, but behind Marshall's kind of moved from where he was. You've been moving around Marshall while utility, and you now notice utility. There's another Marshall in here. There's two Marshalls.
What?
Oh.
What are you looking at?
Marshall, you have been replicated. There is a second Marshall.
What?
And Marshall, you now notice there is another Marshall in here.
I immediately draw on me.
And that one draws on you, it mimics you basically.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. It just copies you. You get the point.
Okay. Well,
I will move towards the nearest Marshall. Okay.
Utility, I swear to God, if you stab me, I'm the real one.
Let's leave it to roll me a d6. If you get 1, 2, and 3, you go towards.
Well, don't tell me.
That one.
I just go to the nearest Marshall.
Roll me. We'll change it up. Roll me a d10, just because then. Roll a 2.
I rolled an 8 on a d10.
Okay, and then I'll roll a. Okay. You go towards other Marshall.
You told me. I said I'm going to go up to him quickly, grab a hold of his arm, and scratch his skin.
Okay.
And see if he bleeds red or bleeds green. It's the easiest way to tell.
No.
No, he doesn't bleed at all?
Doesn't bleed green, it's red. Well,
but he didn't scratch me.
He didn't scratch you.
But I don't know that. So I assume this is the real Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, hey, hang on a minute. Utility, come off.
Say something only the real Marshall would know.
You are not the real Marshall,
I am.
but this Marshall bleeds red blood. You bleed green blood, I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah, I can prove it. I pull out my own knife and cut my hand.
Now we are at a terrible quandrum. I will have to. It's impossible that there are two of you.
Well, I mean, he doesn't seem very dangerous. He hasn't tried to kill me yet. I
Yeah,
mean,
he doesn't seem so dangerous. He's just copying you because
yeah, so far he's just doing what I'm doing.
No, he's doing what I'm doing.
I calculate a 50% chance that I have the correct Marshall.
Well, then, utility, where does that leave us?
And to shake things up, that Marshall has moved next to the other Marshall. So
Oh,
now
God.
they're
I've
even
got him by
mixed
the
up.
wrist.
Oh, you've kept him by the okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I might have had to kill this
Okay.
one.
Okay, that's fine. He stayed where he is then.
Marshall,
Yeah?
Yeah.
you must answer both at the same time. Marshall,
Yeah.
what is Dr. Madeline Wright's favorite word?
Favorite word.
She uses it in almost every sentence.
Soup.
Fucking hell?
What does the one I'm holding say?
The one you're holding. Let's leave this track. The one you're holding assumed it might be a swear word of some kind because it's smart, but it says shit.
I will quickly reach up, grab its head, and twist using strength.
Okay, yeah, I definitely need a strength.
We'll see if I'm fast enough and strong enough. Oh no, what did I get? A 69, and my strength is 55. Can I spend luck?
No. It actually grabs your arm and rips it off.
Shit!
That's way
I
stronger than I
fire.
am.
I shoot this thing in the noggin. And that's a 44, baby.
Okay, I just need to roll a speed for him. I need to get a no. Okay, he does succeed, but he didn't get what I needed, which was a crit. So
And
he
that
will get hit.
is 9 points of damage.
Okay. And as
Is
you
there
do
green
that,
goo everywhere? Yeah.
no, it's actually still red. But this one changes. It changes and looks like Regan, the gill that you saw in the cold storage.
The hell even are you?
Continue to destroy it. I am disarmed.
Well, probably
Literally.
bad time to mention that was my last bullet.
Utility, can you do me a speed roll for me? Just to see if you can get out of dodge.
47 out of 35. No.
Okay.
He's beating me with my own arm.
Okay. Depending on what this damage, let me roll some damage. 5 points of damage, which I think is what you've actually.
That's what I've got. So I am disabled.
Yeah, and by disabled, he rips your head off.
Oh no.
All right, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump outside the shuttle and I'm gonna like seal the doors behind me. I'm gonna lock this thing in the shuttle.
Okay, I need you to do 2 speed rolls for me. We're gonna go
All right.
2 speed rolls.
Here comes the first. That's a 30, so success
Okay.
on that part. And that's a 2.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to. Utility, you actually come back online. It's just your head, you just in head form.
My head has been removed. I can still be repaired.
There's
But
probably
he's not with you, Marshall, though. He's the other side of the doors.
there's probably no way to fix him. Damn shame.
Yes, there's a way to fix me. Just retrieve my head.
Well, I've sealed you in the shuttle with my fake. I thought you were dead.
Utility, this is where I'm just gonna come to you before I go to Marshall. This is where you actually see the fake person turn into an actual form, and it's the unknown male that you originally saw when you entered cold storage. And he's like, blast! Gives me one job and I failed it. I managed to. Why did they send a response team? I thought I dealt with that captain.
Who are you?
Some might call me Iago, but it is what it is.
Iago.
Yes. Yes, I managed to manipulate a fellow.
Do you want a handkerchief?
What
kind of creature are you?
I get different names. Shifter. Some people could call me a doppelganger. I don't know, but I'm just who I am.
Accessing archives. Doppelganger. One who impersonates another. An identical copy. Demonic. Evil.
Yes. One could say that.
We're going to destroy you.
Well, you'd have to destroy my master first, but you can't do that. You're just ahead.
There are 17,294 billion people in the Empire. We will find you and destroy you.
Yes, but my goo can do all sorts. It's specially designed, and funnily enough, that stupid Celia helped me make it worse. But she died in your explosion, so she can't even help you undo it.
Is there any way to stop you?
Yes.
How?
You're my master, but you can't do that. You're just ahead.
But you lose nothing for telling me your master plan.
Oh, it is what it is.
Please.
I am a master of disguise.
Ah, you are a master of disguise.
And I'm going to turn you off, and he switches your switch.
As he reaches for me, I say, transmitting data to Panda 5. Then I send all my information to Panda 5.
Okay, that's fine. Right. I'm going to go to Marshall. I do have a scene with Asus and Doc, so don't think you guys are out of it. I do have a scene with you.
During that whole kind of monologue inside the shuttle, Marshall from the outside has been brewing up a batch of moonshine using his manual to basically give utility a Viking funeral and set the shuttle on fire.
Okay, okay. As you're doing that, you do me an intellect roll to start off with while you're doing that.
That's an 08.
Okay. So you will then notice there's two very attractive, very naked women, Errol and Delia, these are, stood right behind you.
Whoa, ladies! Oh, you're infected, ain't you?
No, we're here to help you. Come
Yeah,
with us and we will help you.
people who intend to help tend to wear clothes.
But we thought you might want to join us.
No, thank you, ma'am. I am happily married.
Okay?
Uh,
And as you do that, I can just say that you light the match.
yeah,
And I'm gonna leave your fate if that undetermined, and I'm going to go to Asus and Doc. Panda 5. Speaking to Asus privately.
Hello, Panda 5.
Hello, Asus. I would like to inform you that the company has decided, after a transmission from utility, that we now need to decommission you, Asus.
Well, it hasn't been the first time. I've had my memory wiped and decommissioned several times. But I do appreciate the opportunity to work with the LHC. It was a blast.
There might be some use for you yet, but can you do me? I've made up this roll. You know, it's what it. Do me a look roll, just a 50-50.
Yeah, that's high, so that's technically bad.
Okay, yeah, because anything from above 51 and above is fail for this. Okay, so yeah, Doc, you just see Asus shut down and becomes soulless in a way. He doesn't have a soul.
Asus Linux signing off.
Miss Doc, Miss Wright, sorry, Mrs. Wright. Or is it Miss Wright? Are you married?
Dr. Wright.
Dr. Wright. Will you be willing to take part in the research of this unknown substance?
Yes, I mean, I've collected samples for that very purpose.
Even if it risks you being infected?
Well, I mean, somebody has to do it.
Yes, and you will be the one. So you accept the mission.
Well, I feel like I have very little choice in the matter.
You do, because sadly, even though I am your friendly AI and I love you very much, I would have blown your head off if you had declined.
Yeah, figured.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wright, and we appreciate your service. Just one, I've managed to find the name of the CEO of Trage Corp. I found it in the archives when I briefly linked with the computer. And it appears the name is Bill Spear. And that is where we end on that facepalm moment from Thom.
Who's Bill Spear?
William Shakespeare.
Oh God.
Okay.
Could it actually be Bill S. Spear? But you know. So basically Trage Corp was experimenting with this guru, and he was using Iago, who was a shifter that he met, to manipulate everyone, which is what Iago does in the play Othello. And if you had met the captain, because she was still alive, she would have told you his Iago's identity. There are a few other bits, and things could have sped up. You could have actually got to the ship and it started to crash immediately. It was based on rolls that I was doing throughout. I was doing random rolls, 50-50 chances. Just very quickly, and this is based on the transgressions of ingesting an unknown substance. They had put the ichor in the soup.
Right.
Omens were dead animals, but I didn't really get that in, and we don't go off all of them. Manifestation, I got doppelganger. Banishment was learning its true identity. But I changed that slightly to killing. So if that crashed early and you had got to the planet early, you might have had a chance to find Shakespeare and kill Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
Slumber was whispers from the shadows, and the themes were abandoned, empty, and forgotten. And
Very
just
cool.
for literary nerds, very quickly, Errol, Regan, and Delia were actually Goralil, Regan, and Cordelia from King Lear. Cass and Rodri were Cassia and Rodrigo from Othello. Malv, the pilot, was Malvolio from Twelfth Night. Peter, Nick, and Rob were Quince, Bottom, and Robin from Midsummer Night's Dream. Baron abandoned that. So Celia and Charlie were... Celia is the daughter of Duke Frederick from As You Like It. Lorenz and Jess are Lorenzo and Jessica from Merchant of Venice. The captain, Katerina Pleasant, Taming of the Shrew. And that Valentine was Two Gentlemen from Verona. Chris and Troy is Cressida and Troilus, because Chris is the original name of Cressida from the Iliad. Well, if you go into it, Cressida wasn't even part of that story in the Iliad. Completely different. Chris was completely different. Ty, Merc, and Rosa were Tybalt, Mercutio, and Rosaline from Romeo and Juliet. Duncanto and Malk were Duncan and Malcolm from Macbeth. And then the Viola is from Twelfth Night. Agychek is from Twelfth Night. Demona is Othello. Fortinbras, we figured out from the get-go. Pandarus is also... I can't remember what play Pandarus is from. And then Othello from Othello.
Cool.
So
Oh, yeah.
there we go. All you little Shakespeare. I just decided to go Shakespeare with it.
Cool. So what did you think of your experience doing the procedural?
I thought it was quite interesting because it actually sparked a lot of ideas, because I was like, okay, doppelganger, was abandoned, empty, forgotten. It kind of triggered that Shakespearean tragedy in my brain. I don't know why. And I was just like, let's just link it, and all linked quite nicely. And it was quite interesting. It sparked a lot of ideas just from small little fragments.
I think that it's interesting that the idea of a shapeshifter has come up so many times in like Star Trek. Something pretending to be something else. Anyway,
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and finish it. Thank you so much for running that for us.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Connor McLean, David Shiflett, and myself with Josh Harwood as the Game Warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to help our show and show your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.